Why?
Everybody says,
I don't know.
oh,
One lady had a water. No, she did. Well, it's just that
This is planning board, a planning board meeting.
And he started.
I mean, I gotta be 5:45.
For a public hearing,
Nope. he said, "Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
for what? But, who,
Come in, come in.
for what, yeah, why are you supposed to be here at 5:45?
That's the time.
The 7 later, instead of 5 later, I gotta be here 5:45. Somebody want to divide a property or something like that.
Are you, yeah, you're on Morgan Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in what I said, see.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you-
Are you from Morgan Hill?
Oh,
I
I
used to, yeah.
I don't think I had a whole little checklist.
Thank you. Anyone else? I have this card.
I think I have that.
Did you get one of this? And there's a short environmental impact form, I don't know.
Always on the agenda.
Do you want an
I'm
agenda?
not sure why it was there.
There's some other agendas on the table.
Do you want the environmental
Yeah,
form?
where is it?
Now, that's just for the public in case,
Or public?
Kind of.
no, well, no.
Your husband didn't have some to come in.
He's coming, yeah.
Nothing in advance. It's-
Yeah, you know what?
You have two walls.
All right, well, that's only one day.
So how is, our ex-board member doing? The one who brought people to that.
Okay. Capsule.
Yeah, you know, right?
Good, good. Back for the summer.
Oh, good, her virtual in real life, the city.
No, she has a house here.
And then we should go to another house up.
Oh,
Tucson.
I have no fear. I love Tucson. I lived there for years.
Tucson?
I went to school there. Really?
You know,
You, Meg.
have you checked the financial status of that school? My friend used to teach there, and she said that they spent so much money on football, the school is almost going to.
The school is always, you know, the
There
word.
now.
Went bankrupt.
Because the state government keeps clawing back money. But yes, you're right, they spend too much on a football team that never goes anywhere.
That's the
Oh,
problem.
it's like.
And the basketball team is always just on the cusp. The Final Four, and then But the great,
They're all required to give so much.
I had a great time and I learned a lot. It's a good school if you know what you're doing. But otherwise, it's like 40,000 students. It's like-
Oh, is it that big? How big is Tucson?
It's almost a million.
No, way. I was there 2 years ago. I went to the rock and then.
That's supposed to be the best.
Oh, my God. Did you bring some funniest thing?
Are you serious?
Where?
Yeah.
Or was it from-
No,
Big school.
Big school.
No, no, I don't think they're-
That's the way you said that, was because it was so-
You know, like, the-
We're not to get you a live television. I wasn't sure if you would go to-
I'll let you know what it is. I'll laugh at hysterical.
That's why it's there.
Call the meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so I'm going to.
Oh, the first.
Okay, we have one person here for the public hearing. Are you speaking? Anybody else here for the public hearing? Okay, let's,
Oh, yeah, open the public.
yeah, okay.
You need a
I said open public hearing.
You need to make a motion.
I need a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
We have Ray with the motion
Okay.
and Nick for the second.
Is it the public comment?
Okay.
Yeah, public, who's speaking? Did I hear?
Yes, hold on.
Who?
I think you're here to speak.
You're
Public
here to
comment?
speak on public comment?
Oh,
No, but I'm here with the people. Okay, whatever. I guess you're the only person, so that mic's for you. You want to comment on the subdivision of the rat lift?
Well, maybe the
Yeah.
applicant should describe.
That is,
You want to know more about the application?
yeah, and what's the benefit for the town of Horley?
What's the benefit?
Yeah, if it-
There's no benefit. It's just a big parcel of land where someone wants to buy half of it. So they're dividing the big property into two, and our job is to make sure that the division,
yeah,
subdivision is kosher.
that's what I said, they have to divide the property into two, one property.
Yeah,
One big property into two. See the picture? I'm not, everybody can read maps, but see lot one and lot two? Lot two is the newly created lot.
oh. Careful, it's like
Right
laser. I'm not.
See that? This is what they're asking for, because they want to keep their house existing and then put a new, they're gonna sell this. That's not a real house yet. It isn't. No, it's just wood. Do you live near there?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, where they send me a letter,
Oh, they said you're there just.
Well, yeah, 'cause it goes there. What is your name?
George, Maragulakis.
Thank you.
Want to spell that? You can spell that.
Yeah, and I have it right here.
Oh, good for you. Okay. Well, if you have any comments on the application, against or for? What's it going to do for Hurley? Oh, it's going to bring in some tax money because they're going to have to pay more taxes on this property. That's a good benefit. That's it? Okay. I make a motion to close the public hearing. Janet? Mitch? Okay. So does the board have any questions about the application?
All in
Oh,
favor?
all in favor? We have the vote on this thing?
Yeah.
All in favor. These guys were all ahead of the department. I'm like a newbie. But I'm cuter than. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Okay. I didn't have on your vote. Anybody on the board have questions? Let's go over the seeker.
So I assume all the board members got the draft that I, prepared.
And
And, go ahead.
Maggie. Maggie submitted the. I just had, there's so many pages here. Submitted this to the, county because of the Eagles,
New York State DEC
New York
endangered
State.
species.
because of the Eagles and the bats. And their comments were, the parcel in question is 0.2 miles from the closest documented eagle's nest. Unless blasting is used in development, no impact to eagles will be likely. But since you're not involved in any construction, when your people come back, will they have to come before us for any reason? I don't think so.
No, but this, so when you, if you adopt this as I prepared it, also in the determination, there'll be a note on the back that says the same thing, and a copy of the sign map goes to the building department. So if anybody comes in to apply for the building permit on the new lot, they'll see that, okay, you're not allowed to blast, or if they find they have to, they're going to get to the DEC first.
You also say the site is also an area occupied by the Indiana bat. They would make a right turn. And, so tree cutting should take place between October 1st and March 31st to avoid impact. So that should also be on that same note.
And it will be on the back.
Yeah.
So,
I mentioned that. So, that's a negative deck, so we're cool on that.
no,
No,
I
we're
make
not.
a motion to adopt the secret determination as prepared in the issue and negative declaration.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Thank you,
sorry.
Ray.
Mitch, just a second. Go on.
All in favor? All in favor?
All in favor, thank you.
Aye. Opposed?
I guess with me meetings less longer. Okay, the next thing is, the waivers.
Yeah.
So you asked for waivers on this, and two of the waivers are not waivable. Okay. Because of, because they have to be on the map.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to be, and, so, but everything else was fine.
Okay, which were the,
That's
The waiver the waiver was, I have it circled.
If you pull up, I can pull it up and
170C 16. It has to do with drainage easements, site easements, reservation for highway purposes, sloping, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what page it's on?
it's one of the last pages.
Oh, you're looking at what I'm looking at? No, you're looking at.
Yes, she is.
Okay, it's, on the page that says 1, 2, 3. It's the one after the funny one with the Xerox on it. Do you have the same thing on that?
No, ours looks different.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I'm getting down there.
under,
But you know,
It's
once we
these two.
approve,
It's what's on the screen.
yeah, okay. So which one? On the
Well,
screen.
it's a combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that's in 16.
16A.
And they're, in the decision, it tells exactly what has to be.
Oh, okay.
on.
Okay.
So, and it's really in case, the reason for those notes are in case, because it's a county road, in case the county has to enter onto your property to clear it. And that, when they came to the code, they're saying set distances are sufficient. Oh, they're just general notes that really
Okay.
have to be.
but once you get the approval from us,
Yeah.
we'll get you a package that shows the things we want on everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna make notes, but.
Yeah, no, that is there was one thing.
I'm sorry, was there just one that you said that we asked for later, but we can't, right? So there were two.
Well, it's a combination.
It's a combination too, yes. One of the things you're gonna have to do is get a curb cut approval from the county for that road. That could be one of the conditions of approval.
Okay, so that's not something that the person who's buying it.
No, because you're making a property that needs a curb cut too, it's going to be in.
Curb cut approval from the county.
It's also gonna be in the
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
It was
Not,
in Paul's original
yeah.
referral.
I know there's been talk of putting in the culvert.
Right. So, and so any requirements that come from the county, people want to be shown final.
On the map. Okay.
That's why.
In other words, you don't have to physically do it, just have the approval and have it built according to them.
Okay.
Okay, what's my next thing? Oh, okay, you guys have a copy of what Maggie wrote for the resolution? And I want to make a motion to approve it with the restrictions that we have in case of a vote there, the bad things to put on the survey.
So I'll make that one.
I'll second.
All in favor?
And it makes it easy.
Opposed?
Okay, cool. So, Maggie will get you everything you need to put on, you want to just give me this or some more?
No, I have to file it.
Okay,
We have a signature.
okay, cool.
Clean it out, Motions and all that.
Okay, and so then we get those on the map, and then do we need to present the map to you again?
Yes and no. So your surveyor will produce the maps as required.
Yep.
You guys will both sign the owner parts.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've done that, you will bring to me. And as long as you've done everything that was required, the board will sign them. So that's why I say sort of.
Yes.
It'll get looked over before the board signs it. And if there's something that was supposed to be there.
Okay, so we'll just be in contact about that.
Yeah.
Who's your
Once-
surveyor?
Leslie Davis.
Okay.
So once you get this via certified mail from me,
Okay,
if you have questions, contact me before you go to surveyor.
yes,
And if not.
perfect. Yeah, and then we'll get the 5 big copies
Yeah, that'll.
on Mylar.
Yeah, all those, not 5, but it's,
10 or
yes,
something.
right, that'll.
Okay,
bring that along.
thank you. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy.
I'm already in process.
Tracy, come save me.
I think we also need to, for the record,
I should have been out.
well, somebody needs to replace or be an active, chairperson out. Or
I thought we had.
Yeah.
if we have an absentee, today, if somebody's replacing, we have to like two. Clifford's. So we're replacing Clifford. Yeah.
Just in the record, note that
Really don't work too well.
that's the.
Raleigh's the,
Well, they're both.
Both alternates.
Last time we used
I
Raleigh.
think she's the first.
She's a senior.
Okay. She's a senior.
Well, we usually, last time we used Raleigh.
okay, so we didn't do that, so roll back. Put that in the minutes.
So Janet is for Griff, is that what we said?
We got an active voter tonight.
And do we want to have Raleigh?
Yes, that's perfectly fine. Right, so you would be active voter
If we have five.
while, when I would use my, while I use myself during the rap.
Okay.
Well, what is, five people?
So you sort of four on the alternates when you.
Check out the other one restore.
I didn't have her. Otherwise you'd never vote.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't matter whether there's quorum or not,
Okay.
because otherwise they would be rather bored sitting there never.
Well, you can't be bored in these meetings. Okay. Ryan.
Okay, Brian, oh, this is a mining application, okay.
Oh, yeah, I love this.
Is he present?
Is someone here from?
Okay, we're jumping to the next item.
Yep.
Moving fast. Katie, you ready to?
Oh, wasn't there two in the morning?
No, we jumped, he's not here, he's not present at the moment, so.
You know, we got to show.
Yep,
I know, yeah.
yep, he told me, and he told me he could see me. Yeah,
Oh, he's told.
look at that.
Just one.
Yep.
You want to do Joe or you want to skip and come
No,
back?
Let's, this is easy.
Okay,
You're on.
so, we're gonna- you don't mind taking you guys, okay. We're jumping right to you, because we were gonna skip you and let you go on.
Sounds good.
Hi, do you want a few minutes to sit, or do you want to come onto the, do you want to be heard
Now,
first?
I do, sure, absolutely.
All right, so, my understanding of this application, and then you can fill in the blanks, is that we're taking this as a mining application. It is however not truly an intended commercial application. He's removing fill material to construct a home, but it exceeds the
Negative,
allowed DEC.
negative, not a home, it's industrial property.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
So it would be commercial building space,
okay.
and it's improving the lot, it's solid bedrock.
The wrong one. So I mean, okay, so you're, it's still not, it's not a home, but it's commercial, but you're not looking to create a mining operation per se as a commercial operation. You're doing this in order to remove
There's going,
bedrock that you need to remove. so
there's
that you
going
can
to be an
construct your
excess of material because it's a large area.
I don't think that to fill in other parts of the property.
Some parts of the property will be used for fill, but about 2/3 of it would have to be removed.
Will there be any, dynamiting or?
At this time, no, but the conversation I had with the building inspector was we could cross that bridge when the time comes if we need it, but we'll try to avoid that.
Is he? So what's the quantity? You can see to the quantity that by code that requires them to be. So is there any kind of environmental impact of this on something?
There's no water anywhere near the site. No water. Basically, it was a rock quarry from 1870s. And it was left, without soil. So it's bare rock. A good portion of it's bare rock.
So Wiesmer is that little short job that goes in behind Harley Davidson, runs behind where Woodstock Ranch Stadium is. Basically like.
The old railroad on that
Before,
side.
Morgantown.
Yeah, you can see on the thing, the old railroad.
West really seems to be high on our agenda.
So it was actually a really big quarry at one time, and where Harley Davidson is now, that used to be part of the same quarry. So it was a really large quarry. There's some of his property that's.
Yeah.
So, and what makes
My
it
piece is
reevaluate
28, it's
this?
the same piece.
he needs to get a permit for approval so that he can do this and it'd be under the.
Can we do the seeker classification? So that way.
Yeah, I mean, but I just wanted everybody to understand what the application was, so even my interpretation was wrong. I thought it was residential, so.
Is there any way to show a map so that we understand where this is in relation to like 28
both
and the whole
maps.
town kind of thing? So
Well, that's
that,
why I was saying, I don't know how it is.
I know, but it's like,
Yeah.
of course, I'm familiar.
Covert excavation on Gary Benoit's property.
No. I know Harley Davidson
You know where the
is
Onior Lake parking lot is?
across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right straight across from them is Fireside Warren.
What's his?
I understand that, but it would be nice for all of us to just see
Yeah,
a
no,
map
back-
so we can see where it is.
Magnus Point of parcel.
Directly behind Covert's operation.
Colbert, I don't know. Yeah.
Do you see him on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just, okay.
So, okay,
It's
so
across from, not behind.
I would, so we can look at this, so I would think that this is these
Yeah,
were
on
like
Geo
a,
Lake, on Geo Lake, it's across the street.
these were sort of an active road that's not really active when you get by Fireside Warmth, and I mean, it's filled with piles, it's not intended to just be a pure road.
And it peters out there.
Are you zooming in, Maggie?
Yeah. So, but we can classify this, I would just,
I mean, I can make a motion to, it's, I think it's unlisted, right? So I make a motion to classify seeker as unlisted.
Second.
all in favor?
And I assume all of you want me to send this to DEC so that since there'll be this coordinating with them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a.
Could you point to the parcel on
Yeah,
the map?
maybe zoom out a little bit
Yeah.
and show us where we're.
Well, it's what's highlighted in green, so that's the parcel. I'll put,
Okay.
but I'll put the,
Okay.
I'll put the, base map on that shows structures so that.
And it's receipt based.
Yeah, it's not, I don't
Can
think
you
it's,
zoom in a little bit more then?
Yep.
Am I allowed to ask what kind of industry, because I'm curious?
And actually, I'll take the aerials off.
oh, Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask.
So,
Yeah, zoom out a little bit, Franklin. We're trying to see where it is.
It's white and dusty
Well,
there.
there's Onior Lake, Bryce.
Right, you want some perspective?
There we go.
Here, you can
Now,
have it.
now we can kind of see, okay, it's between 28 and 28A.
That's Onior Lake.
Right.
This parcel right here is Covert's right on 28, right on top of the ledge. The store is like right over here. Fireside Warmth is on the next lot next to Covert.
I got you. Okay. It's right behind Fireside Drive,
So
all of those guys. Oh, Fireside Warrington.
this is the railroad right away right here.
So,
And then Harley Davidson's at the end of Beesmer Road out there where it comes out to 28.
and right, and basically at his corner,
right there, the other one,
Okay.
hold it down with it.
yeah, right about in here, there's another like crane, like you have to go around over the stone trestle.
Okay. Very
All
good.
right,
Okay, thank you.
and Maggie, you want to go back?
Yep.
Can you pull up the zoning?
Sure.
So that is industrial, that whole area is
It's all light
industrial,
industrial,
right, it's
yeah.
all light industrial in this whole area.
You guys need one thing to draw this.
Okay. Okay, so you wanna zoom?
She was supposed to, I have a spot for her. She was.
You
Yeah.
you guys see that? So it is all in that industrial,
No.
it's in light industrial, isn't it?
Yep, and then across is mixed use, so.
Yep.
Okay. This is like a, you could say, okay, it's one.
So, so
Make
this,
it a motion to approve this thing, or-
So let's, well, we're gonna have to, so it's unlisted.
I have a spot for you, so you can be in the meeting.
Can I just make an introduction?
Sure.
This is Martina Jarvis. She's the building inspector, a new hire, like it's May.
Oh, wow.
Come join the meeting. I have
She's a pretty
I have a spot
I
for
was
you.
just gonna say she's a prettier pool. It must be our Brooklyn
Yeah, I
heads.
made a spot for you. Thanks, Maggie. You're welcome.
So. It's all within the permitting process.
Yeah, I put my paperwork in, just haven't heard anything.
And Tracy, I didn't realize this, but so this state owned down on the right, is there somebody up to?
No, DEP is above it, so it's outside of the water.
It's outside the water.
So I would send it to DEC,
DC, well, I was gonna send it to DC anyway,
right,
so.
but it may go to the DEC mining as in DEC
General.
general.
Okay,
It's being part of the,
I didn't notice that initially.
Is it necessary to have a meeting?
Yeah.
The quantity is more than the code allows.
yeah, it triggers.
And there were specific requirements in the county codes.
So here's another question. Once you, let's say you get the special use permit in this town for mining, he's done what he has to complete, then he doesn't need a special use permit.
Yeah, it basically, right, in some sense, right. So I would say that probably when we go to do that, because it's special use permit, we can set conditions, we would set a time, do you anticipate what your construction time frame would be?
It's going to be a slow process because the amount of material that's there, you have to find somebody to take. So that and the logistics of moving it and getting it out of the ground, that's the issue. It's relatively flat. There's really not a lot of grade, but it is absolutely the hardest bluestone around. It's bluestone, so, you know, short of dynamiting, and there are some buildings which the dynamite company that I spoke with gave me a quote, and they said that they can do it. It's very expensive, and in order to get around that cost, I'm gonna try other methods first, see if I can move it along, but it's not gonna be as fast as dynamite.
Can you give us hours of operation?
Yeah, we would do all of it, we would, in setting the conditions of the permit, I would think that we were gonna provide hours of operation, days of operation, duration.
And I'm sorry, sir, could you just explain again what is being done? I'm sorry, sort of missed the beginning, or didn't quite understand.
It's a gentle grade for the most part. There's a section, the lower section of the property that was circled in red is, roughly 3,400 square, or 34,000 square feet, which is just under an acre. It's like 0.78 of an acre. And the grade to get drainage and, make it suitable for any kind of a building lot, the grade would need to come down. The hard stone needs to be broken up below frost.
So is that your goal, to make it into a building lot? That's your
Yeah.
objective?
Long-term
Okay.
objective, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So to get down below 4 feet, which is a buildable, below frost line, you have to go 5 feet. So that's, whatever's above that grade to get a flat level grade or slightly sloped to help drainage, but it's all quarry level. It's going to drain very well. It's built up. So right now it's runoff.
Okay, so I can send it to you.
And that's one of the things on those permits that you read through on the DEC permit is, are you gonna leave your grade so that you have sheet runoff when it rains? Well, no, I'm trying to correct that actually.
All right. So is your objective to make it buildable so that you can build a commercial property there, or so that it's becomes a sellable property?
I'm debating that scenario, you know what I mean? According to the state, they said that their permit is transferable if I choose to sell it in a mid-span, you know what I mean? If I don't get it, if it becomes a 10-year project that I can't afford what I'm doing, then I can turn around and sell the property. So where that lands, I don't know. That's why I didn't go get a building permit, because I don't have that objective yet. That's the goal, is to improve the property.
You're just one of the roofs.
Improve the property.
Is Woodstock Landscaping, they got a mine funding?
I hope not. They're not listed under, I did see go through bluestone permits.
I mean, they've been working on that for forever.
They're not listed as a bluestone mining operation. I don't know if they have permits for, mulching and drying.
I was just wondering if we had a time limit on them also.
I know the helicopter hovers over them all the time for the DEC. I could see them from the other property, so I'm assuming that,
Good watch.
yeah, very close.
That's a good point.
Why is it there? Because they don't behave themselves?
They fly over and check with the DEC.
Yeah.
Well, there's
So I'm
Central
right,
Hudson
I'm
flies
not
the
between the two
high
hills,
lines
between Basin and Dyke.
and checks them. You're not under attack. It's the- Central Hudson's helicopter going up the high.
I figured somebody would have a grow operation, but there's no reason to have grow operations anymore, so I was trying to wonder why.
I'm sitting on my back porch, look up through, I swear I'm gonna duck in your income. I mean, I can't believe they will fly that whole.
Okay, so we're,
So, okay, so
Go on.
that's basically, yeah, so you have completed your application for the DEC?
Yeah, I submitted it weeks ago,
Okay, did you
way
provide us,
before I started the process with the town.
I apologize, but did you provide us with a copy of the application as part of the order?
I don't think
I
you
don't
did.
think that was a question on the
No, it wasn't.
application.
So if you could get me a copy,
That would be great.
that way if it has any kind of number or reference, I can try to reference it and hopefully
Yeah, so
they
they
don't
haven't,
think
they
it's
haven't
too different.
responded.
Well,
I
hopefully.
spoke
they
to
don't
people on the
think
phone down there, I mailed it, and they were just like.
I just don't want them to
Right.
think it's too
is it the
simple.
state or the city?
The DEC.
The city would be not.
So- So we're gonna type to circulate it.
Unless-
Sorry. Unless it's circulated to the DEC, both to the mining and to the general.
What are we circulating? Is there pieces, something
So
that
that
was?
was, yes, this seeker, so that they can say if they want to be the agency, or if they have any kind of.
Right.
So the other question would be, just to cover ourselves, I would recommend, because we don't know how many trucks he's gonna have going in and out on. We may want to just send it to the DOT and to the town or county highway, because county is gonna cover that section of.
So for the most part, I'm one guy, and I'm gonna be doing.
Chances
work
are nobody's
myself,
gonna comment on it, but
And it's gonna be me getting the rock out of there, you know what I mean? Filling up the truck, getting in the truck and driving.
So you wanna do this?
You know,
Sorry.
not for nothing, but truck traffic isn't gonna change. I've been working on that land for 15
I
years.
wasn't saying truck traffic was, but I mean, if we can just cover it and send it to them, then
But I had a firewood operation on that property for 15 years for myself. Prior to that, my father was there doing the same thing with his trucks, log trucks. Prior to him doing that on his own, I worked for him going back to 1987 on that property, and nobody's ever said anything about truck traffic. It's an industrial gonna change that.
And then is it, you know, so is the truck driving, you got state and you got county. 28A is the county,
Correct.
but 28 is the state. So there's no reason for the county if he's just using 28 to get out with the trucks.
Can you get out to 28 from your corner? Yeah.
yes.
Right alongside of the,
So you're on the other side of the
Right
train?
behind where Brad Barnes just put his new addition up.
oh yeah.
I'm just thinking, I was just suggesting so that we didn't have everybody come back and say, I'd rather be over cautious than under, but if it's not gonna be an increase because there's already an existing, there's an existing commercial operation there, then that should be reflected on
I mean, you're
the
looking-
application.
Basically, I think what's, you're not gonna have a fleet of 10 wheelers in there. They don't work the purpose. I'm not hiring
But-
40 foot up, they work alone, they always have, and I'm not hiring.
But if he
The
makes it,
numbers could be figured out. I mean, how many cubic yards can fit into your truck? And you've got 18,000 cubic yards, so how many truckloads?
Over 7 years. That's how long it's gonna take.
It's gonna take 7 years
Probably.
to remove all
May
this.
take 10, depends on how fast you can get people to buy the material that you're trying to get rid of.
So you're
It's
gonna,
not like you've got one spot and you're trucking every day. I mean, it's not like the Eastern's quarry on the other side, on Jockey Hill, where they're established and the truck traffic is just ridiculous on that road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're moving hundreds of thousands of yards a year, dynamiting every other day. It's not that kind of operation.
so I would recommend that we schedule a public hearing. And circulate at least to the DEC. Secret.
So do we decide no on DOT?
I was,
And not for nothing, we're not trying to make a hole in the ground.
I mean, that's not the goal, it's to not.
You know, out of that 18,000, you know, how many yards you'll use to level up roughly?
About a third of it's gonna stay there.
Well, about 7,000 yards. Well, that'd probably come before you fall out, right? Mine, there's 10 beds.
Well, I'm gonna break it up as I go down in, to get to that 5 foot mark, and then leave some of it there, make the shop.
I would also,
There's a grade going up, I'm trying to get the grade to come down to level.
so I would just also recommend sending it to the county planning board.
So
We do have people.
this is where, this is where the advisory of, can the planning board vote and waive the vote?
You can't on a special,
I would not waive the public hearing.
On a special use.
you can't.
Well, I would not recommend or vote favorably.
Okay, I just want to,
Only because of what it, I mean, the level of the impact may be minimal, but it still is a, you know, still a mining application. You'd be better off having the public hearing, letting anybody who comes out speak and be aware. And then they also will know that his operation is not a large scale commercial.
yeah, and there's other mining operations in Hurley that are, you know, as we speak, and we don't even hear about it here.
Shannon, is that 30 Beesman Road that you put on the address, the actual address? This.
It is, so I'm the first person in the history of that property to actually request an address. It had no,
Okay, so it does
it had no address.
That's why I wonder, because usually unless it has a
Went pretty
structure.
quick, but there's some little discrepancies over actually what the zip code is for it, so I'm waiting that out.
Okay, so that is the actual signed 911 address is 30 Beesman.
No one's assigned that yet. Is the town supposed to do that?
No, actually, the state, the state road.
Yeah, the 911 address is.
No, Beesmer's not a state road.
But I don't
So
know.
Beesmer's not a state road.
So what road do you access it off of?
Eastman Road.
Okay, so then it's like Schultz.
So I went through the process of getting an approved access because the property never had an approved access. So after I got the approved access level approved by the town, then I went on and got the address.
Okay, okay,
It just, the property was a mess when I got home.
okay, so that is the actual town.
This is just an extension of what I've been trying to do is square things away.
Thank you. And then you want to reference
Right now.
something.
That's it.
I make a motion to schedule a public hearing. Mitch, you want to second me? And then you vote?
When is it?
I'll second it.
So it would be the September 24th meeting, and don't forget that we start at 5 o'clock then, so.
And will, with everything else going on, will we need a determination? Will we,
No, we're gonna circulate.
what's that?
We may not have answers for the September 24th
Okay.
public hearing, but at least you can start to get input.
Okay.
Well, hopefully by then you'll hear from the.
Hopefully, since we have two
Let me
others.
call it again. First time I called them, they said no one in the office had any idea who I was. And I'd already talked to people there and submitted paperwork.
They'll respond to the town, because I have to send it certified. So it'll get some response. So there was a motion to schedule a public hearing on September 24th at 5:15.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
5:15?
Starting at 5?
That's when we start at
In
5.
September.
Yeah.
We switched to 5, okay.
And I didn't get a second. Who seconded it? Mitch, did you second it? Okay. And everybody, that was against it.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks.
Take care.
Welcome to.
You can always call me if you have any more questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Katie, you're up. This is an application for a certificate of appropriateness for the solar on the solar structure. Has anyone, I know that Debbie and I did go do site visits. Has anyone else had a chance to go and drive by and do a site visit? Has anybody, Carl, Ray, Mitch? Dennis?
I did not.
All right, so,
Then they send me a picture around it, people don't think it's real.
so this is under, currently in court. The town needs to file a response by the 1st of August. So if we can see it through this board to schedule a special meeting for, I would say Monday, so we give Matt and the other, I mean, I'm not looking to spend any money on the other attorney unless we need to. If we can give him notice sooner rather than later, then he doesn't have to work through his filing. He can go back to the, or whatever action the town planning board takes.
What do the town want from us? I mean, the court.
Or just wants, it's sort of in limbo trying to settle, the request was to get it before the planning board, so the planning board could review the file and make a determination. What our determination is not being.
This went from us to the ZBA and now it's back to us. What happened at the ZBA? Nothing?
Right, so the ZBA did not grant the variance, which is why they took it to court, and now the court is basically trying to bring it back here to see whether the planning board will review this application, make a determination, and then
That's what it's sold.
what?
It's sold.
Correct, for the solar. So my recommendation, if we have enough board members, is that we hold a special meeting on Monday.
Why don't we just do it?
Do we have enough time?
Why can't we do it? We have a forum now.
We don't have the
We
information.
don't want the information, we have to do a review. Not everyone has gone to do a site visit, so at the last meeting, we had talked about a site visit, so I'd like.
Why drive by them?
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
All right,
So in other words, we
So-
have to wait to know what the court wants us to respond to?
no, what we're trying, I mean, what I'm suggesting is an effort to avoid having Matt spend time putting in his answer. He's gonna put in his answer if we as a board do not act.
But if we have today,
And
like what else would we need to know?
so Katie's attorney is not here tonight, because I didn't think that we were gonna be ready for that, but.
I know this legal stuff is
We
all.
really didn't know at last meeting, we really didn't know that they were going to get an attorney. And like, was that?
No. So,
No, we can, if we wanna go through this now.
do you think that what we resolve today might be in conflict with something that Matt wants, or?
No, not necessarily, but I would just rather,
I don't want to go
I
back
would rather-
to all kinds of court legal stuff.
so I would just sort of have Katie know that I mean, tonight, I don't think they were prepared to make their presentation fully.
I don't know what presentation you want me to make.
We know everything about this. Yeah.
I think there's nothing else to add unless you would like to listen to the videos of our public hearings with the ZBA or read our letters of
No, I don't
support.
want to hear any of that, because we have our own opinions. I want to ask a question, and it's, is there any reason why you're not making it on the ground behind your beautiful new trees that you put in rather than on the roof?
Okay, so that-
Ground mounted solar is very popular.
Yes, and it also needs to be 15 feet from the property line. We don't have enough space.
So you're putting on this roof building, so would you think about getting a waiver for that 15 feet?
No, I think it looks better on the roof.
That's your opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So let's,
can we ask, so on the picture there, it's that back roof, right?
Yep.
So these trees are intended to block the view, which will take a few years, but that's the
They're 6
intention.
footers now.
Right,
right?
right, okay.
They're 5 to 6 feet. There's a
Right, and,
picture.
and
of
only on that one section of roof there, right?
the back section as well, but you can't see that from the street.
Oh, okay. So on the roof that we can see from here,
Mhm.
and then also the other side of that,
Yes.
okay, so two
It would
parts.
be 18 panels, 9 on each and a square on both sides.
I see.
Do we have, I know that this is, we don't have pictures of the panels. The panels are going to be.
Yes. You have
We do.
in the original application.
And-
now.
And she submitted a spec sheet. So are we just here
So
to approve it or not approve it again? Are we here to discuss it? I'm not sure what we're doing.
So it's a certificate of appropriateness, so it is here for either approval or
Well,
denial.
let's deal with that then. Let's just.
So let's
approve it or
pull up,
not.
pull up the section of our code.
Yes, ma'am. What section number? 109. Solar energy, no, that's not it. How many kilowatts is this gonna make this?
It's in the application. I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, you should. I
Teresa,
remember that.
Could you explain, I'm always a little confused about,
Okay, yeah.
I understand approving or disapproving, you know, the placement of those solar panels. What is the certificate of appropriateness? Is that
It's
just,
a historic structure,
so it,
No,
so what is appropriate or not?
so the issue here is, I mean, from our board or is that they're looking to put solar panels on a building that is in the historic district.
Right,
and is a
that I
historic.
understand,
And
right?
the question, one of the issues is that the roof already has been replaced with non-historic material, so it's not, so whether or not the structure itself, the integrity of the historic structure has been breached, whether it's visible and will have an impact on the neighboring properties.
This is the criteria. Well, you wanna just redo these criteria for approval of certificate of appropriateness? I don't know. Let's
So he's not asking you, he's asking you, how long are you
They
projecting?
go 3 to 4 feet a year.
That's what's confusing.
So I think that they would be entirely obscured in about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, Dennis, we're gonna run
Maybe
through this. Hold on, she's answering some questions that may be valid for everybody to hear.
They're green giant arborvitae, so they are very fast growing trees. That's why we chose them.
So they're anticipating that the trees will exceed, right, the height of. the
We
roof?
also intend to hedge them regardless if we get solar panels.
This is the-
It means they won't look like trees. They'll look like a big, thick hedge. We'll cut them as they grow into a hedge.
Well, let me go through just the criteria. Criteria for approval of certificate of appropriateness. Just happened. It's not required for interior alterations, and then that's not us. Historic properties shall be maintained with their exterior historic features altered as little as possible. That's number one. Any alteration of existing property shall be compatible with the historic character and the historic nature of the surrounding properties. I'm not with the whole thing, just a summary. We're not new construction. In determining compatibility, the commission shall consider the general design character and appropriateness of the property of the proposed alteration or new construction, the scale of proposed alteration or new construction, texture, materials, form, massing, sizing, written spacing, and the importance of historic, architectural, or other significance of the property. Okay. That's what's required. Does anybody, I've been leading, you should be.
So do we have the report from the historic?
Do we need the report from this?
Yes, yes.
Oh, we need their advice.
Did we have the last one?
Yes.
Great. I know, I am very upset by this application. I will read. My glasses work. So great. I'm breathing.
What was the summation of the report?
So that's why I'm having that.
Well, does anyone know what the summation is?
I have to go, sorry, I have to go back to the old file.
No.
Right, so.
Yeah.
Yes, the summation was enough. You mean, unanimous.
So is the question that should the planning board disregard that?
You can, I mean, it's not,
It's not-
I'm sorry?
it's not an overriding.
It's
It is their-
advisory.
It is their advice and recommendation. So.
Yes.
So we have to
I
deliberate.
don't know why it took us all this time to get to this.
So first, this is the picture that the historic commission sent with their determination to explain why they felt their determination
You'll notice
was
that
what
I'm
it
standing in
was.
my yard taking that photo.
So, and then there,
It's pre-trees.
Free trees.
right, and then this is their determination from March 2024. Oh, sorry,
That's the wrong one.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
so we have to look at the general design, the character, I mean, unlike the ZBA where they were looking at,
Use variance requirements.
correct.
What were they looking at?
They, in order to appeal a decision under the historic preservation code, I need to meet the use variance standards, which means I have to do a commercial use variance.
So, and, which is
Within
very,
the-
it's almost, you know, you have to show it. So,
Yeah, I understand that. So, go ahead. I'm gonna speak quiet.
So for us, as the planning board, like they have not, correct, we do not have the new submission from the historic committee.
Correct. I do not have anything current from, I only have the old,
What?
Martina, you don't have to do anything in your files on this?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
so generally the process is somebody puts in an application for something and then the building department refers it to the historic commission.
And then they make recommendations.
We've already heard that.
That's already happened.
Why are we going over this again? Can we move
Yes, so.
forward?
Thank you.
The the forward question that I have is that, is there no means to dispensate for the 15 feet rule that you say that it's
No.
not possible? There's no appeal to that.
I've spoken to three.
Is that
solar
like you don't
companies.
want to, or that?
No, I've spoken to three solar panel companies. The best advice that they gave me is the current system that we have in place. We will not be making 100% of our power, only 70%, because when we originally submitted this application, chose to not put it on the front of the house. Had we put in an application for solar on the front, on the post office, we would be getting 100% of our power. We assumed that this would be a reasonable compromise with the town, but it appears not.
So the answer to the 15 feet is
It's no.
based on 3 solar panel companies telling you that's
Yes.
not possible.
Correct.
Okay, all right, so this is the alternative is to put it in the back as opposed to right facing the front street or Main Street.
They have some of the back
Which-
on it now, right?
No,
No,
They
we took
had-
them down.
and so that's part of the other issue is that in the past on this parcel, there were solar panels on the back.
The non-visible side.
On the non.
That is not
And-
correct. They were visible from the west side of the street, not the east.
See it through the addition. Were they on the, was it ground array?
No, they were roof mounted, but they were raised up, and they were the size of the full roof. You can go to Google Maps, you can still see them, the
So-
picture's still there.
That, so they had at one time solar panels on the roof. They removed them during renovation.
They were not working well, and we wanted to put more obscure, better producing solar panels on instead.
The panels that they're looking to use, my understanding is, are also the same panels that are on the new Bow Foundation building on the other 4 corners.
But this is a historic.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just referencing what type of panel it is because
Were there solar panels when you bought the house?
Yes,
And they took them off because they wanted more modern ones and ones that were,
Who would approve the original ones? I guess
I
that's.
wasn't born then.
it was probably 1980s.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Before the remorse,
So the historic preservation law only came to be in early in 2017.
Can I make I'll be very calm, okay? Because you know that I go strongly for this application. I feel that the Hurley Historic District is a gem that we own. It's ours. It's not yours or Tracy's. It's ours. That street and that area is beautiful. And the more we can do to preserve the historic content, the more we should do. And as I was reading the things on this little list, there's nothing in this application or whatever, the requirements that makes me say, well, you know, it looks like it could be historic or it could. I just don't believe personally that this is an approvable, and I'm only one vote, approvable application because it's contrary to the beauty of the historic district. And you bought a house in the historic district and you bought into that legacy. You bought into that legacy.
And I intend to take care of it by using the most best utilities that I can for that house.
No, I get it, that doesn't have anything to do with
Okay.
okay, but so I'm done, yeah, I'm done with my, so I made my statement, I'm not gonna say anything else.
Everybody wanted, this is the historic commission original.
Is that from the historic?
That's the original one.
Is another question, is the proposed new solar panels the same footprint as what was there?
No, they're not.
Is it larger?
They are larger and they are flat instead of raised.
I think that he's asking the question, not about the size of the panels, but the footprint of the panels. Because you said the other solar panels covered the whole roof, correct?
The other solar panels covered the roof that, not the roof that's facing the side of the street, the other side, the side that's facing west. They were raised and they were two very large panels that covered the whole roof, but they were up in the air so you could see them. These solar panels are now going to be 19 panels and they will cover the same space on the hidden roof and the same space on the exterior, the yard facing roof.
So you're making a legacy argument in this case. It was already there and you're just upgrading the panels.
Well, they were.
But not on that roof, not on that roof though. They were on the back.
You're switching to a different roof.
I think the argument my lawyer made in the petition to the court was this is a non-historic roof.
I mean, the material
Yeah.
was.
And that
That's
is
a
what,
very New York City.
and that is what you told me I should appeal to the ZBA based on, if you
So-
remember.
So they're talking about the historic, the shingles that you're putting it on aren't the original shingles, so your lawyer felt that was appropriate to do.
Nor
that.
is the plywood underneath.
I'm sorry, let's not.
Okay, but that, no, but, and the fact that the question is, there were at a point in time, solar panels. That.
I got that part, Tracy. I got the part that
And
was-
the different roof.
Yeah.
Right, and a different roof material.
It was
So the question-
the roof material that on the, I don't care about the back, the back of the building, I don't think, it's the one on the street that faces, and this is one of the nicest, sweetest.
It's not on the
buildings around.
street, it's in the
No,
back.
okay, I'm gonna complete a sentence without you interrupting me, okay? It's one of the nicest buildings on that street. And you're putting it in an area where there was none before, so the legacy would be on the back, which is fine, because the back isn't visible. This area is. Okay, and that's it.
There's
And
another-
we are having a discussion here, okay?
There's another concern. I don't know why I didn't notice the arborvitae. I have those plants. They grow like crazy and they're going to be like 30, 40 feet high. They grow that high. And you're creating a wall you're going to create a green wall on Main Street that is not ideal. It creates a different character to the whole Main Street. So kind of like the solution to hide it is as bad potentially as the panels themselves.
That's what I argued in my original.
I'm not sure though it works. It doesn't mean that it's the fact that we should have this. I'm just saying that the solution to negate it or soften it is as bad potentially as the panels themselves.
Well, they are gonna grow regardless, so.
How much power are the panels in the back only? When, you said the back and the side is gonna give you 70%,
35, it's not workable.
35 in the back?
Yeah, I don't get my, my NYSERDA grant without the street facing
Oh,
house,
now I
so it's
understand.
unworkable.
And I sort of doesn't mind you putting on the, okay, go.
NYSERDA encourages.
Well, the NYSERDA is a tax credit.
Yes,
You get, so you would have to pay retail to put on solar panels.
Yes, totally.
Otherwise.
I'm sorry, let me explain because you weren't here, because you were new, the first time I did this a year ago. So my solar panel system will give you 70% of the tower. It's gonna cost approximately $24,000. I will be getting $12,000 between the federal and NYSERDA tax, which brings it
I
down.
just did this
Yeah,
myself.
which brings it back to 12,000. I'm going to take a solar loan because I don't have that money to lay out, and that will be about $85 a month in comparison to my heating bill, which was at one point, and I submitted in my original application, $800 one month. So this is very necessary for my family in order to pay my bills, stay in my house, and continue to take care of this gem of a house.
$800 electric bill.
Yes, I submitted the electric bill in the
I
original
didn't see it,
application.
but what?
Why not? Why didn't you see it? Did you read my original application?
I'm
What-
sorry,
You're
wait,
being
wait, wait, wait.
argumentative if you're not gonna.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so, so
That's powerful.
I'm gonna
Not
say
to
like,
worry.
I remember.
yeah, we're here trying to do our job. I
They
understand.
have no awareness whatsoever of anything that you discussed with Matt, with your lawyer, anything.
I do. If we go around the board, I
Yeah,
do. I'm
some of the-
perfectly aware of
Tracy,
everything.
let's throw the, I think you've had enough to say.
I'm not saying anything else.
Since you're
And if I feel correctly,
We're
right, well,
clear on how
it
you
is-
feel.
I'm walking. Right, so what I was gonna say is.
You mentioned when you were here last year
Board members.
Yeah,
that, what else can I do? to
you
lower-
told me for
Right,
3 minutes that I should
I'm-
leave my
I'm
house
talking right
with
now.
fireplace.
Finish my-
I could have had a more intelligent conversation with a bunch of random people on the
That's not
street.
Okay,
valid.
if you stop, I'm going to end this hearing at the moment and we will reschedule it because I'm not going to allow this to turn into a circus. Okay, so both of you, no, Katie, excuse
Vote
me.
no, so you can answer my
Katie,
petition.
Katie, you are
and
not
go
doing
for it.
yourself any service.
I
You're
was
not,
expecting something much different,
But-
much more knowledgeable. This is ridiculous.
Katie,
you are not,
you haven't given everybody a chance because I am totally on your side and I remember the $800 bill. So, but you're
Dennis,
condemning everybody.
You, Tracy, and Raleigh are the only
But-
people that I have respect for. in this town.
Understandably, you're getting upset, but you're condemning the entire board when there are some of us here that are on your side. And as Tracy just mentioned, you're not doing yourself any
I'm
favors.
frustrated because we
I
are
understand.
asking the exact same questions. We're all holding one vote. We're all holding one vote.
so
There's
all
a lot
of
of
you
votes here.
breathe deep.
Also, if I knew this was going on, my lawyer would be speaking for
I
me.
understand. I also was looking to
I
schedule a
was
special meeting,
Told I would just be answering questions, not having to defend this again.
answering questions and defending our fine lines. And I also was anticipating that we were going to just schedule a special meeting only to deal with your application. But at this point, the board would rather move forward. Okay. So I would suggest that we just keep it here at the table and that there not be, unless there's very specific questions. We don't need to necessarily have cross-eyed unless it's through.
Laura, you were welcome.
Yeah, I mentioned that you said, have you got any recommendations that I can curb my electric bill? Make it less.
I did not say that.
Well, what did you say?
I don't want any recommendations. The solar.
No,
is the
you
best
said,
choice.
what else can I do?
Okay, are there any?
Okay, this is what I said. I said, you have 3 chimneys on your house.
Okay, well. Okay, so.
Please don't do this again.
You have 3 chimneys on your house.
2.
And I said, one of them could be a wood stove.
Okay,
They must be fireproof.
can I speak to that really quickly?
No,
Please.
we're not-
No, Tracy, please. There's something that I think that's really important here. The most important, valuable historic artifact in that house is actually not the exterior of the house. It is the jamless fireplaces. I am one of the only people in the entire street who has these fireplaces. I've had historians come and look at them. Now, I restored those Dutch jamless fireplaces at a cost of about $50,000. That's why I have no money here. I've been working on restoring the house. So if I were to turn that Dutch jamless fireplace, the prize of those houses, into a insert fireplace, I would be destroying history. But it doesn't matter, right? Because it's not on the exterior of the house.
Inside.
That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't, because you are not qualified. You are qualified in a lot of things. I'm sure you're a very intelligent man, but you are not qualified in what is valuable in this house. And the Historic Preservation Commission is only judging on looks. That is what this is all about. They don't want the house to have solar panels because they don't want to see them. So we planted hedges and they are not going to see them, which will allow us to continue to take good care of our house, to restore the windows, to continue to fix the fireplaces, to turn that house into a gem so I can continue to open it up on historic Stone House Day and have the school come in and look at it. The house is very important to me. And putting solar panels on an asphalt roof because you guys don't want to see them is really stupid.
So-
And I can block them with hedges. That makes the best sense financially for the good of the house and the good of my family and ability to stay in my house and pay my bills. So you can deny it if you want, but fortunately, ultimately, the Ulster County Court is going to decide. So go for it. Vote no.
I would mirror what
They
Dennis,
might all vote yes.
what Dennis just said.
Clearly you're not.
Well, I'm only.
All right, the two of you, I mean, I'm gonna get some.
Maybe I should go to the bathroom. come
Yes.
back. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this and I'll be back.
Ray
Don't
or
forget.
Mitch, do you have anything to say? We're just going around.
Wait.
We should make Jen.
Or-
Go take a breather.
So I would, my opinion, just because I kind of want to, not try to sway any board members, is that, with those hedges, it is going to be invisible in a couple of years. You're not going to see it. And I think with the overall comprehensive plan that Hurley has, is that we're encouraging renewable resources. And so, it's kind of like, competing concepts, really, and, I think you're not gonna see them. I'm all for solar energy, and I think it is a good compromise. I think it is evident that, it's gonna take care of that house and preserve the front of it, which is what you see is on the corner, and you see those two facades. That's, the fact that she's taking care of it, I think that's a plus, rather than, somebody else might not even, buy the house or take care of it. And then it just, isn't taken care of, but it doesn't have the solar panels. I think this is a win, so that's, I would vote yes. I would vote to approve. Is my opinion. I'm not such a stickler on the times change, the historic value. It's mostly still there,
Mostly still there is not okay in this instance. Mostly okay is not gonna be okay. And maybe if you're saying in a few years, let's revisit this in a few years then. Because right now, it's not acceptable.
Would this be setting precedent to all the other stone houses?
Yes.
So the issue there is the roof. So the roof is, so if somebody had, I mean, some of the houses still have cedar shake roofs. So my understanding is that this house, the roof has already been degraded, so we can out of the historic character where someone who has a shake roof may be a different issue and will be looked at, or could be looked at different as opposed to the asphalt.
Yeah.
But yes, it
But
does,
that-
it does set a precedent.
sets a
It
precedent
sets a
on that
precedent
part,
in the
right.
sense that we've allowed.
So the Van Dusen house and, the Eldorf house, et cetera, they could all put solar panels as long as it's in the back type of a thing.
They would have to still come to the board and argue
Right.
why it would be appropriate
Right,
on their property.
right.
Do all of the solar houses like propane tanks on the property?
I have no idea.
They all have some.
I went through what they're doing. I just literally, I pay $800 a month for oil. So I wanted to so I got solar panels, all right? It cost me an arm and leg. But I don't live in a historic house too. So so do we even have
So, I
the
mean,
notes from the historic commission?
Yeah.
Yes.
so I mean, from my way of thinking, the house has solar panels, so
There is a legacy.
I think that there's a legacy. It's on the backside, screening. I get that it's historic, but I also think that we're making a compromise in terms of trying to accommodate a change in the work, which is going for renewable energy sources.
Right.
I
What's the
know
compromise that we're making?
here because it's not on the front, it's on an asphalt roof. It's
So
on a house.
the compensation we're making is on an asphalt roof.
It's on an asphalt roof. The building already had solar panels.
Had on the back.
And there's going to be screening. So
I
from my
wanna-
standpoint,
I'm gonna do another, I'm sorry, you know, the arborvitae actually upsets me more than the solar panels. Sorry, because, no, but I'm just saying, because you can't, part of the beauty of walking down Main Street is seeing the totality, you know, the front side and stuff, and so now we're only getting the front face and everything else is good. So, but it's,
We cut them lower if you approve my solar panels.
you know, that would be,
Tell me the height.
yeah, that would be something I would be. I know that that's maybe a strange way of looking at this, but I find that those trees covering up the back, seeing the whole house, or at least the three-dimensional aspect as opposed to just the front, is even more a violation in my mind than seeing some solar panels on the back side.
Robert,
which
I agree with you. I was gonna do view or something lower, but you know, this is one of my only options to have solar. I can still trim them to a lower height, so you can still see the house if you would prefer that, but I was told solar's ugly, so.
The only thing I have to say is that there was something there and that was there before. I would say that could be replaced, but that's it. Because it was there before. It's what was there before. But, you know, like anything else, these solar panels, these solar arrays that are out there, they have a life expectancy, and they will not last as long as the ones that were on from the 80s. They'll be shorter life expectancy, 20 to 30 years maximum.
Yes, but the one from the 80s, they weren't working at all.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that the newer ones, they have a shorter life expectancy,
What I-
so you have to take them down and you have to put them someplace.
Well, I would hope that in 20 or 30 years, there'll be a better alternative and something that's more attractive. Maybe they will have workable shingles at that point, or like they have with metal roofs, you can lay them in between the metal roofs. Unfortunately, I don't have a metal roof.
Well,
Have you explored the shingles that are so?
They don't make them.
They don't?
Nope.
no,
They,
even though they show them as being
yep,
available.
they don't actually produce them.
I'm just gonna finish by saying that the house was purchased knowing it was in a historic site. There's a lot of stringent rules and requirements that attorneys go through with their clients when they sell houses. And, you know, that should have been discussed when you purchased it, like, oh, the solar panels on there. Oh, but you gotta be careful because those are not allowed nowadays and you're not gonna be able to put down.
Actually, they are allowed. All I need is a certificate of appropriateness. And if you read that code, it says contemporary alterations shall not be denied when they meet when they're small in size, small in scale, and they fit into, I'm sorry, you'd have to bring it up for me to quote it properly, when they meet other things in the neighborhood. And as you guys know, even this building's in my neighborhood. The Noble building in my neighborhood, there's 2 solar panel houses on Depot Street, which I could probably hit with a baseball.
I think the neighborhood refers to the.
It says historic district or neighborhood. The reason they use the word neighborhood is because without using the word neighborhood, no new utilities could ever enter the historic district.
Really?
Yes, which means if I have a oil tank and I want a propane tank, but nobody else in the historic district has propane tank, I would not be allowed to because there's no propane tanks in the historic district. That's why they use the word neighborhood. So newer utilities could come
Okay,
into
so
the area.
we got 2 more, so Carl and, sort of Carl, you started. But you sort of gave an indication of your thought process, but
Well, 2 wrongs don't make a right. If shingles were put on a roof that didn't belong there, shouldn't have happened. Okay, so that's all I got to say.
Well, I'm looking at the totality of that whole historic district, looking at the recommendations from the historic commission and, again, I don't know when the shingles are put on the roof, but the structure underneath, I mean, I'm not gonna,
It's plywood.
it's, the structure underneath is the stone house, the main part of it, well, it's part of the
I
stone.
wasn't gonna put them on the stone.
Okay, so what's next? What's next, Tracy? What do we do
All right,
next?
so we don't actually have a draft completed. Randy was working on one, but I would just I'm gonna run through the 4 provisions. Correct?
Yeah, can I ask a quick question beforehand? Would you feel, because this is a court case and you had a lawyer, or whatever, would you feel more appropriate if we had the lawyers present during this discussion or this decision-making process?
I mean, I would have been more comfortable laying it out a little bit more cleanly, which I wasn't anticipating doing tonight. So yes, running it through, doing a draft determination based on what we have considered here and calling, for us, I mean, whether we can call, are there enough members potentially available for a special meeting to actually
We're
vote?
talking about Monday.
Monday?
Do we need 5 days on stick with you?
A special meeting.
So Tracy, in the special meeting, would it just be the board?
What?
Just a special meeting, would it just be the board?
And the lawyers and the applicant.
Yeah.
What time on the 28th?
Okay, I mean, or next
I don't
Wednesday.
know what that's gonna.
Anything.
And Wednesday's not good for you. Only thing I can do is Monday, Tuesday.
Well, and Tracy, what would be the purpose, what do you think that's gonna accomplish? What do you think that will accomplish having the lawyers?
No, I just would then have a formal draft of a resolution.
I'm trying to avoid more legal fees and when we get, but
Yeah,
that's.
that's the other thing, is that with our history, I think we probably, we know how it's gonna end, so.
So how many people are available for Thursday if necessary?
The only thing that.
Oh, I'm just pulling it, right, okay. So
That's the
you're available.
31st you're talking about?
Let's do it the first.
I mean,
But would we be taking a vote that day? Because I think,
What day is it?
Thursday? We do it Thursday, okay.
Not any Thursday, but
No, 31st,
specifically the
right.
31st.
31st,
Okay, what time?
10 a.m.?
The daytime?
I don't know. Well, no, yeah, not daytime.
Not
I mean, we could do it at 5. We could do it at, I mean,
5 o'clock for me on Thursday, the 31st. Is that what's being proposed?
I think that's better than the daytime one.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I make a motion that we schedule a special meeting for Thursday.
Isn't that hinging on whether or not the attorneys are available at that time?
We'll have a conversation beforehand and then we can always cancel it.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
So that's,
So Thursday, what
Thursday.
time?
At 5 p.m.
And Mitch, you seconded that?
Yes.
Okay, do you want me to do the roll call?
you said 5 o'clock, give me the dates on it.
For Thursday.
What time?
5 o'clock. Okay. All those in favor? Any abstaining, any objections?
Put the notice up tomorrow, put it on the website.
Thank you, Dennis, Tracy, Maggie, 5 o'clock.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
This is my favorite. So. I apologize. So
We'll work on it.
okay, this next application, you're gonna schedule a public hearing.
I'm gonna really blow you out of the water when I ask you this.
I'm leaving.
I know, but I'm gonna ask you real quickly. In light of the approval or the denial or the green yurt that was white and green, and it was appealed to the zoning board. And the appeal said that since we decided that it wasn't visual for any of the neighboring properties or the street, therefore the visual assessment wasn't required. That's what did you get that copy of that? The zoning board, so I'm thinking, why would we go through that whole process again?
So
This is a whole different thing.
It's a new round.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of applications, it is a new application, but.
what's an SFR?
Say again?
Single family resident.
Okay, thank you.
So it's just, I mean, we can get to the same determination very simply. I wouldn't, if the same, part of the question that we all had was there's no way for us to know where your house is on that site in comparison to where the yurt is. So none of us were able to.
I believe the site plan, one of the documents I submitted, I think had both on the same site plan.
I didn't.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Why not? I didn't do the demo.
Is this, so this is a new application?
Yeah, do we need to like think
So,
about?
yeah, let's look at each.
And even Paul's referral said he hadn't
We
seen it
couldn't figure out where.
to be able to even do separation and whatnot. Okay?
So-
Someone should have one of the documents we submitted. I think it's PDF.
So, well,
You might
should we
still
go
have
on?
this document.
I think we're so good at the last one. I
The last
really
one.
apologize. I mean, it's my,
It's in the.
Oh, okay, go have a good birthday party, but I don't know what to do, because I would just say,
but you still have to schedule. it.
Which document, which document?
okay, back to my list.
Yeah, it's a, we'll get through.
Will we need a public hearing?
Yes.
No, okay,
My
To go through, like, you want.
Yeah.
No, you're leaving?
yes.
So,
So make a motion
She's
to make me the person in charge.
no, yeah.
Okay, so,
And Raleigh's gonna be a voting member.
yep,
You have to make,
I make a motion that Raleigh be a voting member.
you have to point her.
Debbie, I make a motion to appoint you to run the meeting.
Why do you have to go?
All those in favor?
All those in
Yeah,
favor?
good to see
Aye.
you. Grandson,
Aye.
party.
Grandson's birthday party.
3 hours.
One.
I just want to at least be able,
Okay.
I'll be here for the rest of it.
Tracy, I will call you.
I'll be in here on Friday again. I know.
I won't.
We gotta give you.
You're close. You know.
Okay, thank
Um,
you.
Maggie, can you open up the application that shows the site plan?
Yep.
And there's at least one of the documents in the additional email that has many more documents has the yurt on the same site plan. I'm trying to see if the printouts did, they might have not.
I'm not worried about the printouts, I'm worried about the digital.
Okay,
And
so
Paul has to do a review of this with the site plan, which he didn't have when he made the general referral that you need a visual assessment.
Okay.
So we need Paul to actually go through this whole thing and say, you know, yes, you meet separation distances between the yurt and the new house and blah, 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 whatever he does in his.
Maggie,
So,
is there a possibility that when you make the submission with everything to Paul, he'll rescind the visual assessment or?
no,
because it's an
that's a given. He's gonna be, Paul has already said he needs a visual assessment, but in his referral, he said, I have not reviewed an actual site plan, but he didn't want to hold up getting writer on the agenda to begin the process.
Could you show the house location with that little?
So
So the,
stop me when you think it's the page that shows
I
both.
think this is not this document. The email that I sent you yesterday has
Okay,
slide 6, has both on the same page, and I can,
nope, I have it, just a minute, because I brought it over. So, if I didn't bring it over, I have it right here.
I have it in the house drawings.
Nope.
It's
just
got
a
the
minute.
yurt, it's a little blue dot.
Right.
okay, so it was on some of the those documents.
It's a white dot. Should be a white.
Yep, just give me a minute.
Let's see. What's it?
There's, yeah,
Oh, that's a draft.
Yeah, that's planning board.
Here's some.
Yeah, that one there.
Let's see. Okay, so it's not on this.
Yeah, but you see, this is why there's deadlines. When you send it to me the day before, the board's not gonna have a chance to look at it.
So it was also in one of the other documents, someone was saying, I
Well,
just
it was a
don't know which
42
one.
page site plan. I think it was hard for them to, plus they function by what Jill says. So if Paul says separation distance, that they're both shown in the separation distance according to the code is acceptable, they can start. If he says it's not, then
Okay, just bring up the pictures. 'Cause
They're
I'm a
a
little
few
bit
hundred feet
agitated,
apart.
I don't know why.
which page?
Slide page 6.
Oh,
that one.
there's the yurt.
So this was the year, this was,
So, can it pointer please?
There's one right
So
here,
that-
too. Yurt.
Hold down and point at it.
so this is the yurt. This was actually the original location for the application. It was approved actually against the property line right here. But it actually is now further from the house. So this is,
Is the yurt there now?
no, we're about to start construction on that next month. So we're, know that this process might take some time, so hoping to get the house through this process while we start construction on the yurt. It's multiple hundred feet between them. There's a scale on this somewhere. I think it's about 250 feet between them. It should be plenty of distance for the code.
So I have a quick question for you, Joe. That depiction up there is different than the depiction here, because the scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet, okay? And the yurt, between the yurt and the house is like, one inch.
The printout will be the scale image.
Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah,
half
it's a
scale, I
PDF,
think,
it won't be
it's the smaller, it's not the full.
It's not the scale.
You know what size this
So
is
you
supposed to
can't
be?
just print the full one and have it be, that's not the scale.
So it's,
And I'm not gonna drag
It
the
is
full
the
one
scale,
out.
because there's a scale on the bottom, that's not.
Right.
I think I printed it instead of a full size big document, it's half size, so I apologize that the scale is.
So 1 inch
Okay,
is 40
so
feet.
this is 60 feet then, from here to here. It would be the same here, here, 60 feet, so this is
So,
70 feet from the edge of your yurt.
It could be much more than that.
It's definitely much.
Does that matter?
This is based
yes,
on.
there's a requirement, Dennis, there's a requirement in the code for separate distance difference from 100 feet.
Is there a,
Well, I've got a question.
yes,
You're building the yurt now?
we're about to start construction on the yurt, yes. We have not
When are
yet
you
started.
planning to start building the house?
It depends on how long it takes to approve, and we haven't found a contractor yet, and,
Now,
what
let me
their
ask
schedule
this,
is.
after the house is completed, is the yurt coming down?
No, he said that in the original
Yeah,
application.
originally I talked about the yurt, this was the plan the whole time. The yurt is to have something up quicker, to have an extra bedroom once the house is up.
No, there's no scale on this. I
There's no
looked.
scale. There's no scale.
Well, if you use that 573 as a guide, the house is not 250 feet from
It's
the
about,
house. That's a number that.
it's about 200.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
I can follow up with the
But I
exact
don't-
distance,
I
but
don't know if that makes a visual assessment issue, what Iowa is asking.
No, it needs a visual assessment.
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying that the distance between the yurt and the house is.
Not so much the yurt and the house, but I'm looking at their scale here, because according to the scale, the well is within 100 feet to the septic.
Well, they won't have that approved.
it's,
Well,
I'm just saying.
it's septic approval. Martina, that
it's the
one.
first one here, Brian.
But the site plan,
Okay, now I want to say,
That's not the
sir,
scale, no matter what. Oh,
point
well,
at this though, but
well,
because
I don't know what you want me to tell
No,
them.
no.
These are PDFs, so we take our drawings and we make PDFs.
just.
When you make a PDF, it's not to scale.
But I'm sorry.
So you have to actually pull out the actual drawings to get the real scale.
But it says 573 feet, but basically the distance between the house and the yurt is not relevant to the issue, so we can forget that, but, and Mary,
The real plans to get the right scale.
I can't see, Martina, no, I can't, your hand. Martina, would the distance between the well and the septic be an issue that be raised when the plans were submitted to the building department?
It all depends on if, also the Ulster County Health Department gave approval for the house.
It's not approved.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't hear.
The Ulster County Health Department would have to give their approval first, and then the plans would be submitted.
Okay, so the issue that will be handled in the
They
approval
would-
process.
Yeah, but with a visual assessment, they have to have some,
They got a mark where things.
right, they have to know, the board, you guys have to know the house can go here because Ulster County Board of Health says, yes, the septic and the well, tentatively, whether they have their permits or not, because once you approve the location, that's it.
Okay, but let's,
So they have to get
let's-
some tentative,
Got
that's
it,
what Mitch is
got it.
trying to say.
What's that?
they have the biggest lot in the world. They can move the house over 20 feet if they have to. That's, I don't
Move
think
the
those
well
are the
over.
issues. The
Well,
issues-
no,
They can't move it if you give
You've got it,
visual
you've got it.
assessment.
No, but they can
I
move
just
the
went
well.
through this plan out, and out there, we had to get where the septic was going. We got that done, we had to do the perk test, do the septic, stake that out, and then they had to come out and do visual. We located the well 120 feet away, and then we located the spot for the house. We had it all staked out for them to come do a visual assessment.
Isn't that the architect? Both of you or?
Architect and civil, Jason and Brian.
I'm just saying, though, but
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we're up there, visual assessment, we're gonna see what we're.
No, but we have to have a graphically correct and scaled presentation given to Paul, economist, or Martina. I'm sorry, I'll get that.
He
She's
said
new.
he said that we need to go to you before he reviews anything.
But yes and no, okay? There are code requirements of separation between.
No, actually, we don't want to get into
Yeah.
that. We don't want to get into
Of
that.
you, if a shot, if Paul says then and then, it's too close.
No, but
We did, but he said he won't review it until the
Okay.
planning board.
So we did send plans to Paul. Paul says he won't review it.
okay, he will,
We need a plan.
and you're the civil engineer,
I'm the
so
civil engineer.
you're probably gonna make sure that the well is far enough away from
Board of
the
Health-
I don't
septic
want to be too
tank.
close.
Yeah, and you're
Board of Health-
probably gonna get the water,
They
so
won't-
I think it's a moot issue that we don't need to discuss.
Well, like I
But-
said, they're not the sketch.
But what I'm saying
Gotta
is
get
that
the real
if
point.
we're gonna
No,
prove,
we've seen the scale on there and figured.
Yeah, I apologize that I didn't realize that until just now.
1 inch is 20 feet.
It was meant to be the double size, I don't know what the term is, the full size document.
Paul has.
Which is-
The lot plan.
You know, when you dropped off the
Right,
seven
the big
trees,
ones.
yeah, I mean, that's like, nobody would know that.
Paul has them. We can-
oh, I love being in charge, I know. You will be sure that it meets the health requirements, so I don't care where the well is. When you submit to us a plan with the house in place and we approve it, you can't move it. So make sure you have all your ducks in a row the way you want them, so we can review it in that regard. Having said that, and knowing that the well will be far enough from the poo-poo, and that the house will be located where they want it to be, then I think what we should do is go through the process of entering the application and review it, no?
And, you know, make a new submission for September that meets all the stuff. You can read our code, you can see that there needs to
Okay,
be.
wait, time out,
Yeah, so
Maggie,
the
Maggie,
full
time out.
scale
Drawings
Time out.
are
If you-
actually-
if you-
Yeah.
I'll make sure to bring a full scale printout next time.
Do you know whether or not
No,
the area up there, because I'm sure you did perk tests?
Yeah.
Do you know whether or not the area that you're building the house at, are you gonna require blasting because of bedrock?
No,
Not.
you might be able to speak more to that, but it's slab on grade.
It's gonna be a slab on grade and the foundations are gonna be poured to where the bedrock is.
Okay, so you're doing slab.
Bedrock's about 2 feet below.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
So I have a question,
So we did all the septic work. We did the deep holes with those carry out farm, we did the perks, we did everything. The design, that's the actual size, that's the shapes. You know, it all works in the books, but we haven't submitted it because we're waiting to find out if the house is gonna get moved or not, or if we're good to go.
Well, as you know, the biggest issue was distance from the escarpment.
Yes.
So are you pushing the envelope or are you clearly far enough away from the escarpment?
So,
Because we kind of agreed on where the escarpment was. So did you use that sort of line?
so
Well, this is the previous application.
So when I appealed the previous application to the zoning board, this was discussed in detail. And they said that this was not considered the escarpment, that this is a hill, that the escarpment is a different area in Hurley. And the code outlines what the escarpment counts as, and this was definitely not the escarpment. So this is not 100 feet from the edge of the hill. It's probably about 50. It depends on where you decide the hill starts.
So we're gonna have the same issues again, I guess.
It will be an issue.
You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I like-
wherever the last.
'Cause I thought-
Yeah,
This was done by site.
The zoning
visit,
board, Tracy, I wish Tracy was here. She was here for this discussion,
Well,
but
she's not allowed, then.
Why isn't she allowed to be here?
She's not allowed to discuss zoning board stuff and she's.
So that was an issue. We went out, we kind of agreed on where the escarpment, maybe you didn't agree with our, you know, I thought we were being reasonable and like, we kind of all agreed that, okay, this is the edge of the escarpment. And then you put the York where, you know,
Yes,
would be
that was-
approved.
that was what we had agreed upon. I
Right.
still disagreed that it was the escarpment and thought it was a hill, and the escarpment was referring to the cliffs around Hurley. The zoning board seemed to agree with that assessment. This was
So you
discussed in
prefer,
detail.
so you prefer their opinion and basically, so when you placed the house, you disregarded what we had decided was the escarpment and just went with that and said, because you could have moved the house
Yeah,
back
this-
further
we could move
so
the
that
house.
we wouldn't have any issues.
Yes, we could have moved the house back further. We much prefer it in this location for a few reasons.
Okay.
It allows for future expansion in this area here without getting across this is the 50-foot setback from the property line. And it is our opinion and seemed to be supported by the zoning board that this is not the escarpment that the code refers to. It refers to the escarpment above the Hurley Flats, that are the cliffs. And so we think that this has no visual impact and is not subject to the 100-foot setback for the escarpment.
Well, it's obvious to me that the ZBA has a different analysis of the code than we
Well,
do.
we
And-
really
and-
never
and-
had that problem.
In the basic fact that we had requested the color and we got the color was, it's white now, right? You're not painting green. So what I'm,
No, he's gonna paint the white.
no, it's not.
The zoning
The
board
ZBA
overturned that
told me to leave it
requirement.
white.
So what I'm trying to say is that we can to exceed, what we are going to determine today is going to be overridden by the ZBA.
You're not gonna determine it today.
No, but if it was to
No,
be
you can't,
determined.
because you don't know where you're at. You don't know where the
No, that's not what I'm
starts.
saying. I'm saying that let's go through the process, but I think we have to keep in mind the fact that the ZBA has a different interpretation on this specific property in relationship to the visual assessment.
So
So we can go through quickly and give them a rejection, they can go to ZBA kicker, or we can go through I don't know what.
I think we should just go through the process.
Okay.
So another question, what about the trees that were requested? Was that overturned too? And no trees are gonna be requested?
I haven't even asked for every stipulation to be overturned, but they overturned every stipulation. They said that there was no additional criteria required in order that the resolution said there was no visual impact, so we didn't need to do anything to mitigate the visual impact.
Okay.
We still do plan on planting the orchard.
And I specifically remember that I had said your aerial video was great in the summertime, and since then, there's been winter time. Did you do the video in the wintertime like I had asked? Because I said you're gonna be building a house, you need to have that video in the winter. Otherwise, you're gonna wait, because I asked you for that.
So we didn't redo the video, however, we did submit some other documents that show Google Street View during winter and the property, because there's so many evergreens around. It's definitely not visible from anywhere. It's also because it is set back and the house is even further set back than the yurt. You really can't see it from anywhere. I've gone around with binoculars. None of my neighbors say you can see it.
I did make it on the record that before you come back to the house, have a video,
I
or whatever you call
apologize, I
it,
didn't remember that you
of
had
the area of the winter, okay? And because you were going through this whole thing with the yurt. So you should have had that.
I guess I also was under the opinion that, well, I was still going through it with you guys actually in winter, so I wasn't even sure what was gonna happen.
But you went with the ZBA right? Well, this whole time, you.
Yeah, and it was post winter.
Yeah, I mean,
So I think what we should do is proceed with a review of the application by going through the little checklist that Wendy gave me. And then we'll advance the application in September. You'll come back with whatever and we'll make our determination in September. Or, we already did not, or not. Do we have to make another site visit for this one since we were all there?
Well, I think that it would be nice for him to stake out exactly
Yeah.
where he plans to
once they
place the
stake
house.
out where
Okay.
the house is
That's
gonna go.
usually the procedure with
Okay,
visual
good.
assessment,
Okay,
is they stake everything out.
Does anybody else have any questions about this? Should we go on to the secret thing so we can just move this?
I mean, they have to stake out where
Can I-
it is for us to.
Can I ask questions about exactly what you want staked out? Just to make
Where the
sure-
house will
Where
be
the house.
located.
Everything, any
So then
structure.
what is, any structure, so not the septic, the well? the-
Well, yeah, so you got a marker, the marker, just this sort of well is, this is where the septic field's going.
Okay, so
I mean, you don't
I
have
just
to
want to be
stake
really
out the whole
explicit to
perimeter.
make sure, yeah, do you want like exactly the perimeter? What do you, like, do you want exactly this driveway turnaround?
Just one corner,
corners.
the four corners of the house.
Four corners, the four corners of the house, the corners of the structures, just the house, no well.
Any
Well,
structure.
but we gotta mark where the well's going. Just put stake where the well
Okay,
is.
so well and structure for the house,
And the
nothing
leach
else.
field.
And if
And
the yurt
field,
is
okay, we
not,
keep adding, I just want to make
if,
sure I
if
have
the
this.
yurt,
The more you put, the better it will.
if the
Okay.
yurt platform or whatever is not in yet, put those
Yeah.
stakes where that, so that
See, behind
they
your
can
house
see
there,
where everything is gonna be.
You can do that.
And
behind your house there, if it's too close to the escarpment, you've got 45 acres, you can move it towards your other 45 and set it out on the edge.
Yeah, I mean, this is the flattest buildable area, and this is,
What do we
I
do?
think that this meets the code, and this allows for future expansion of a garage
we
or
need a
something
site
back
visit.
here.
Yeah, when you decide this, you want to.
Usually
When do
we
you think
schedule
you can-
that now so that you
Yeah,
know when it's gonna
I got it,
happen.
Matt.
So you
Well,
got
after
it.
August first.
Do you, when can you have the stakes staked out?
I'll have to talk to a surveyor. What's the date right now, 23rd?
We
I
don't
guess
meet
we
in
have-
August.
Yeah,
so
I
you have
guess
to
you don't
do
meet next
September.
month, so can we schedule this remotely, or can we set a tentative date and I make sure that someone can stake everything out by then?
We usually like to have a date so that I can put it in the minutes.
Okay,
Could you have it done by August 26th?
yeah, let's aim for that. That
Next
seems
Tuesday.
reasonable.
Tuesday, August
We don't meet
twenty-sixth.
long.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
we can't do Tuesday.
I won't be here.
So why don't we do it before the deadline in September, early September?
Okay,
Yeah.
so remember, our deadline now is, they have to, if they need Paul, which this won't, it's 3 weeks before,
I
and
thought we
for
would change
us,
that for that one time.
no, permanently, they have to get their ZEO referral to us by 3 weeks before. Then they have a week to get me the.
Right, but the visual assessors aren't going out there for a site visit, isn't really deadline specific because
Well, but.
it's
he'll
only
need-
us going, there's
except
no
if
other
he needs-
documents submitted.
If he needs to submit anything from it, you might want to leave.
Well,
it up
usually
to-
not because we don't talk about it there,
Okay,
right?
What
So the
about
deadline for
Wednesday,
this-
September 3rd, because that's the week, 3 weeks for a meeting.
that's, so,
Yeah.
all right, so
Does that-
Wednesday,
does that sound
September
reasonable?
third.
That's good for me. Well, school ID's there, so I mean, is it good enough for all of you? Because
So before we make all these plans, I just want to verify something with the building department, building inspector. Do we have, they have a road maintenance agreement already in effect? Because I know they didn't have one.
We've submitted documents for that, notarized documents.
Yeah,
joint
because
documents.
that's something that the building department's not even gonna,
Yeah,
entertain it.
basically, part of it.
So that needs to be looked
Yeah,
at.
we submitted all that for the year that was required to get it through the building department. We are on the road maintenance agreement.
Okay.
Do we have a time for this site visit, tentative? On September third?
It's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
11 o'clock, 10 o'clock,
What is
I
it?
think earlier is better.
So
September 3rd, Wednesday.
third or fourth? Oh, no,
Third.
third, Wednesday,
Are you
September
going for
third,
it?
what
The
time?
3rd,
Wednesday, September third, what
3rd,
time?
9 o'clock.
9 would be good.
Sure.
do we have at least 2 people who can make that?
At least how many?
At least, I don't know how many you know.
It's
Anybody.
Yeah, so what I'm saying,
No one talks about anything that's.
if there's more than four, you just don't talk about them.
Just show us people, I'll shut up around.
Make notes for
Just
yourself.
like him, I get them, but I'll get them.
Just make sure everything's safe.
Yep, I'll do.
And you can be there or someone,
I'll be there.
or the surveyors, it just has to be someone.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, okay.
As far as the process goes, beyond that, is there, do you know what you're gonna be submitting in September?
I'm gonna be making sure I have five physical printouts of the full scale document with the yurt and the house.
So
That sounds like the main
by the
thing.
tenth.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we
need any new submission, and I need to be here this time when it gets dropped off,
Okay.
because I was unable to get it to board members because I had a 24-page thing that, you know, usually I give labels and I stamp it received and the date. So you really need to make sure, and I need it all digital. Anything you submit, I don't care what it is, I also need it digital.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything, all the documents submitted were submitted digitally as well. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll make sure that you use 5 copies. and print it.
Not the day before.
Yep.
Because
You're well, at least you'll be able to make change
Why?
from the Board of Health. You haven't seen them yet, right?
Correct. Well, they've been to site, but it hasn't been seen. Has not been seen. So it has not been approved.
Right.
But they did the first.
They did the first, we did the deeds. Yep.
Oh, well,
Then
then
what
pretty
else
much
do we have to
underway.
do? Then
Classified under
let's
submitted.
let's just get this done. Let's just get this done.
Yeah.
Everybody, one person.
Can we just move ahead and do what we need to do?
Right.
Let's,
So secret, you have to classify it
Oh,
under
secret,
secret.
fine, secret.
Usually the visual assessments have been unlisted.
Okay, so let's make this one on this. Do we have a vote on that? On what?
Motion.
That's you?
Mitch,
Make this unlisted secret.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye. You guys vote on what's unlisted, me?
What?
the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Yeah, when you say what's unlisted.
Unlisted means it's not type 2, it's not type 1. That means they have to determine if there's an impact, if so.
Okay. Okay.
It's not that complicated.
Why was it type 2 last time and unlisted this
Yeah,
time?
like,
What is the difference?
I just wasn't getting.
Because it's not actually construction of a single-family house, which is the only option under seeker. It's a visual assessment, doesn't have a place in
I
the
see,
type 2,
okay, this is just for the visual assessment.
just for the visual assessment. There's no place in the type 2 list for a visual assessment. And it's a house, not the yurt. It's different.
Yes.
It's got a different impact.
And you're gonna put the yurt on there, on a print that Paul's gonna look at?
I have a quick question about, does the yurt have any bathroom facilities or running water?
Composting.
It's a composting toilet and there's no well or anything on the property, so we're just gonna have a water tank for it next to it.
So isn't there also something like, you know, like an ADU thing where because you have like two living, you have 2 homes now or 2 living facilities on the same property? Is that not being
Is
addressed?
that a short term? You're talking about a short term?
No, just like an ADU. If you have more than one residence, because isn't.
Is there a kitchen in the yurt?
Does that not
But,
an issue or Martina?
Well,
You
Only, he's got enough land, if there's enough if there's a space between the yurt and the residence, that he can subdivide and make that yurt into a separate dwelling, however, you need a road. to get-
No.
Then you
You're
can,
gonna, an ADU is an auxiliary dwelling unit, and that's a special use permit that would come before us.
He may need to do that.
And has that been addressed or anybody brought that up to you?
Yeah, so you're saying I need to do an actual subdivision?
I'm not sure.
No. So when this came up with Wilkins-Star, Paul determined he has 9 acres. If he wants to make an apartment above the garage, he's got 9 acres, he's got enough, he doesn't need it.
well, I
And
don't
so
want to go back on an application, but that's enough.
what
I don't want to
Dennis
go
is
back and
asking.
discuss
We're going
an
back.
application that wasn't, but I think there's a lot of things that have to happen, like you have to get the yurt built and get a CO without water. I don't know if you can, it might not be considered.
No, I'm just raising it because it seems like it could be an issue because an ADU, you're not, you know, there's rules and codes about having 2 living, two separate dwellings
Yeah.
on one property, regardless how big it is. Because we just had that one over there in Hurley.
Right.
They're doing the apartment above the thing. That's an ADU.
Right. And what I'm telling you is that's why if you look at Paul's referral, he did not do an actual full referral for that kind of stuff because he didn't have an application. It wasn't brought to him. So he simply said to the planning board, and if you go back and read his referral, he said this. He needs a visual assessment. I have not reviewed anything.
Okay.
So he will review for this kind of stuff after the.
Yeah, so
When
Mark-
you're done building this, what's the
Martina,
year?
I would make a note.
Is the year coming out to see?
You know,
Yeah, that was the
ADU
intent.
That's what,
question
a
mark,
house?
because it sounds like now there's
Yeah,
two.
I thought that
Well, there
was,
will be two.
yeah, only,
Yeah.
is there the option not to do that?
So it's an A4, you can't have
But
it.
A4,
Well,
I have 45 acres, so I think that means I can have 11 separate houses on the property
We don't
for
want to do
4
that.
acre. I
But
don't have the intent
yes
to
and
do
no,
that.
there are certain, once you hit certain triggers, there are certain things that have to happen. So that's why Paul or Martina needs to
Well,
determine if
all right,
you,
first we need to go do the visual assessment, report back, all will,
he can do his review for the
His review.
September meeting.
right.
So like his full review that he would normally do.
Right.
Like, not just that it needs a visual assessment, but it meets the code for separation, there's no other.
Yes.
you know,
That's the next
you
step.
require, right.
When you make your submission, put all the dimensions that you would between buildings and all that stuff, that's code.
How did we get into this?
That's all we need.
No, that's-
We've already agreed to this.
No, well, if somebody's
What?
building another house
No,
on a
but
lot,
this,
there are
on the
requirements.
agenda here, it says we're requesting a visual assessment. Why are we having this larger conversation? I'm just questioning. Why are we digressing into this? When the request of a visual assessment, which we've already approved, we're going backwards.
Yes and no, I said,
No,
when I
we-
said it out, then I didn't have a full review.
We have to
Can we
do the
just do the
checklist.
checklist?
No, we didn't have a full visual assessment.
I know that we've already agreed on September third to do a visual assessment.
To do a site visit.
A site visit for an application is going to submit in September for the visual assessment review and our report.
Exactly. No, so isn't that what's on the agenda here?
That says,
And have we not accomplished that? Have we not done that? So why are we now talking
September
about?
3rd.
I know that. So why are we now talking about ADUs and other kind of topics?
No, we don't have to. We're just.
We're just, it's
I know. it's
7:30.
7:20.
Come on. They've been waiting here and come on. Let's keep focused.
So,
Sorry.
I think it's a legitimate question.
It's a legitimate.
I don't disagree with that. What do you say?
That's what it is. Now he's talking about getting approval for the house.
But there's nothing else we have to, he knows what he
He can
has to
go home.
do.
No, I'm just saying.
We're done.
No.
Okay, bye. Next.
no, but Raleigh do need to understand that nothing comes to you guys unless Paul has told you what it needs.
No, we are
And right now,
Maggie, enough. Let him go
We're
home.
done. We've done what we've been asked to do. We're done.
So we'll see you September.
Sounds good?
Yeah, I don't care how the well is.
Well,
I'm just here for what it's
Oh, yeah.
made of. I don't.
No,
They have to care.
that's.
They have to care.
Everybody to care for the house.
You know,
But as planning board members, we need to see these things on the plans.
So it helps out.
Okay.
Is
You
that?
got it, yeah.
And just so you know, the other room you meant, the other room.
Nobody wants to, well.
Please, instruction, because I can see through my house.
I'll be like,
Wait, there's another room.
yeah, there was a whole mix up in our documents. So since we're all here, any other questions that we can answer? Like, because I never.
Oh, you know something? This is, I saw that you're going to be asking for copper. That's going to be something that we have to discuss.
No copper.
What is that?
So this is Corten steel. It's a weathering steel. It's,
Okay, that's fine.
a
Does
brown-
something have copper? Or something, I saw copper in
How-
50
how
years,
big-
it's gonna be black?
No,
That's
so
this?
That's not copper. That's the
So
steel.
what is that, the siding?
So yeah,
That's the siding.
this is
The house or the
material.
house?
The house. This is the siding and
It's
roof
siding and
material.
How long did it take to turn that color?
A couple months and it will darken even more. So after
Bring it
a
back
year,
in
it's
2
even
months.
more.
Oh, you just left it out of the elements made to do that, right?
Yeah, so by the time construction's done, it will be dark.
You know, it's been.
No, I said, I didn't think you did that.
Plans so it doesn't go on the concrete or anything. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Have a good
frantic
evening.
because I
Thank
hate
you.
it on the roof.
Have a
What
good
else?
evening. Thanks.
Bye. Minutes. Anybody ready to go ahead and have a move on to those?
Make a motion to accept the minute.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Good.
What do we got now?
Other business, none.
All right, yeah, so as I forwarded everybody, I don't think I put it on the agenda, maybe I did. The town board is strongly encouraging everybody to sign up for this training.
And who pays for that $100?
The town.
Okay,
What
That's
training is
why
that?
I need
and it's
your,
in Kingston,
yep, it is from 8
and that's in
12
October 3rd or something?
October 9th.
I'm not gonna be in town that year.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pass the agenda down. If you want to go, please fill out. the
I'm
ticket.
going to one of Lake George.
Great. If you want
They
to
pay
fill
my
it
gas
out
mileage.
and leave it with me tonight or drop it off.
They want me to go, they're gonna pay my mileage.
Is that this thing? you
Yes,
fill it out?
yes. Everybody has this in front of them. If you definitely want to go, no, pass it down so everybody can see the
The
agenda.
day, I'll pay for my own.
Because that's why, yes.
They pay
Brian.
for my room for the night?
No, you gotta put it in.
It's in Kingston.
No.
No, I'm not gonna be here.
Uh,
That's when I can go to Lake George.
So, because the town board has to approve the funds, that's why I need the registration form and I need to know you're committing, because once they pay, getting a refund from the association of towns for people that don't show up.
Well, I mean, I'll pay up front, as long as they're gonna pay me back.
But
Oh, they want you to
if
go.
you fill yours out to say Cirrus, check the other one, like the Lake George.
Can I use my credit card so I can get miles?
No.
Anybody want to make a motion
No.
during this?
Hold on.
I'll get it.
Dawn.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Maybe that's a-
Yes.
Well,
That's I
I would like to make a motion to accept the modified visual assessment code, send it to the town board for review and acceptance to send to the State Department. We spent a lot of time on that. It's modified. All we gotta do is accept the plans and then it gets sent to the town council. Town council has to review it. And once they review it and accept it and vote on it, and the attorney looks at it, make sure it's, you know.
I'm actually glad that you brought that up.
Hold on, wait a minute.
We're
So then, once the town's finished with it, the town council, then it goes to the Department of State. Once it gets to the Department of State and it's stated with them, then our code has officially changed. Okay, so that there's no ifs and question marks and what about? And that's number one. Number two, I would like to make a motion.
Wait, we're in the middle of your first motion and we don't have a second.
No, we're gonna make it.
I'll
So,
second for the.
for the send the visual assessment as it's, okay, so we need to vote on that.
No, we need to discuss it.
Okay,
This is so out of
discuss it.
control, I can't believe it.
Where is this even on the agenda? I'm sorry.
It's under board
Really?
time.
It's a
Full
board.
board time.
Mitch, what was your second thing? Just mention it without
Second
making a
thing, the
motion.
second thing is, I'm gonna make a motion
Okay.
for it, but we need to have, get the motion for the town council to set forth a 6-month, or if not, a 1-year moratorium of the visual assessment code while it is being finalized.
Wow.
Because otherwise, we're gonna have
Uh-huh.
issues, and let's just stop the issues and fix this visual assessment and then go forward.
So for 1 year, there would be nobody able to.
Well, it could be 6 months. It's
Well,
not
that
gonna
would be
take.
fantastic, and they pick up the pace and get it done.
Yeah, if they get it done, then they can just go, it's done, we're gonna release the moratorium.
I just want to interject one thing.
Take 1 month.
I want to interject one thing before we discuss this further, because it's important, those two things. Tracy and Matt, and I was at one meeting too, they're going through the entire zoning to make revisions.
Right.
Okay? Mike had wanted us to have that completed by September first, which I don't think is going to happen. And what I had wanted to do was rather than sitting in isolation, or, you know, looking at the point, to have a couple of working meetings among us to address all the issues in the code that impact us, because there's a lot of things in there that just doesn't work for the planning board, doesn't make sense. So I'm asking if you want to defer those two things, because they're very valuable, and have a real comprehensive list of the things we wanted and who wants to be involved in being part of the committee to do that.
So let me ask.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a problem because that's ready to go.
That's been written.
That's been ready. We get that going and then we do these other things.
Okay, fine, then let's
I
do
don't
that.
see delaying that longer
Fine.
because it's done.
And how does the moratorium, how do you feel about that?
Moratorium, I'd say 4 months.
All right, so we have to vote on these separately so that,
Okay, so Mitch, you want to reiterate your first motion?
Yeah, make a motion to accept the modified visual assessment code and send it to the town board for review.
and Ray seconded that.
Acceptance to send to the state department.
I'll second it.
All right, Ray seconded it, so now we need to vote on that.
All right.
Aye.
All right, now, we also made a motion for a
Aye.
moratorium, so have it, Ray, you're saying 4 months?
I'm gonna make a motion that we put a moratorium of 4 months on the visual assessment code as it presently stands.
I'm not quite sure what that means.
That we're not going to review anybody that has an application and wants to build.
Okay, so it's not a moratorium on the visual assessment code, it's a moratorium on visual assessments.
Application.
And the application, right,
And what if we
okay.
do with the one that's already in? Is that-
Yeah, that's what it's really clear.
He's grandfathered.
What do you think?
But it doesn't
And you want to,
I know we already voted on it.
No, we haven't, we don't even have a second.
No, we voted on the first thing.
Oh, yes,
This is the thing you were working on.
yes.
yeah.
And we all said submitted. Oh, okay, okay,
We all chipped in on that.
okay.
Okay, now accept the motion with the moratorium for 4 months. All
We
in
need a
favor?
second, no, we need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay.
I had some questions.
Now discussion.
So moratorium on visual assessments,
On the new code.
on the new
Yeah,
code.
the new
So
code.
how will that impact applications?
It
That are
will.
already in?
In what
Anyone
way?
who needed a
Well,
visual
Will
assessment
that
have to
bring
wait.
everything to a
Well, it's
Just
the
if they,
town.
just if they need a visual assessment.
And how many applications
Yeah,
require visual assessments?
Anything in the A4. That's new or over 1,000
well, why
square feet.
wouldn't we just use the old one until the new one is
I know,
incorporated?
exactly. That's
Why
what
do
I
you
don't
need a
understand.
moratorium?
Because if you approve Ryder, if you deny Ryder Moody under current, he can go to the ZBA, just like he did with the year, and undo everything you want. So what Mitch is trying, or Mitch and Ryder are trying to do is, since we know we need to change the visual assessment, and we already have a draft that we think makes sense, we would like to stop getting people caught.
We
in that.
understand that. Let's vote on it.
That's what moratoriums are. It's
Well, I guess-
Well, but I
one.
don't understand that logic whatsoever.
Well, then don't vote for it. Vote against it.
No, I just don't understand why the current rules don't apply until we vote and
Our
implement.
current rules are not applying.
I think
What do
it's
you mean?
starting.
They're not applying. They're being screwed around and done different ways and
We're just trying to tighten them up.
Overturned and being
they're going,
kicked to the
you know,
side.
You're trying to preload the outcome during a moratorium until you get what you have worked so hard to get.
Not necessarily, Raleigh, because the town board could say, so let's say the planning board.
They may
as
not-
part of it
I'm
says-
just ideologically against putting a blanket
I think-
moratorium on things like that for procedural reasons, because we don't have our underwear, on.
No, but I think I can help you understand the benefit and the logic.
Okay.
Right now, our visual assessment says the ZBA can overturn what the planning board approves.
Okay,
The draft that the planning board has done, which they would like the town board to consider, takes that option away.
That's a pretty.
That
intense-
doesn't mean the town board is going to approve that. So what Mitch and Ray are saying is, let's not get people caught in an internal town battle, let's stop giving visual assessments for 4 months, figure it out. So 4 months is a tight time frame, so that doesn't give the town board time to just play around with it and deal with it, and then whatever comes out of it.
But everyone who wants to move forward on their applications who requires this has to wait 4 months in the meantime.
If,
Is that right?
once the moratorium becomes
I
effective.
want to know if he wants to grant, some of them might, if they already submitted, would they be under they would be exempt from the
Oh, no, it hasn't been submitted yet.
If
it gets adopted,
application?
no, if it gets adopted,
Mhm.
once it's adopted and it follows the process, then it becomes an effect. Anyone that files an application till that point, we're under the old regulations.
No, you're saying the moratorium meaning that we're not going to accept any more visual
But it has
assessments
to be,
until.
that all has to be accepted by the.
No, I know, but that's, I'm just talking about when
Yes.
Mitch is, just, but does that include people who already have it? Are they grandfathered in, but they already
Yes.
have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
It's not gonna become
but for
effective
4
till the
months,
town
if
board.
any new applications come in,
We're gonna
they're
stop
just
it.
gonna be put on hold for
That's
4
right.
months.
Yeah.
And then after 4 months, we're gonna be right back if it's still not resolved, and now for another 4 months.
No.
'Cause that's
No,
how it's always
no.
worked.
That's
No,
interesting.
I mean.
This is how this
yes, it
always
can
works.
happen, but it
Moratoriums
doesn't.
always, they never stick with the first round. I've always seen, I've watched, I wasn't, I may be new in this world, but it's not like I've been born yesterday. I see how these moratoriums work, is once you put one in, it gets extended automatically. Oh, well, what's another 4 months? So that's why I'm bringing this up now.
I understand.
And saying, this is our own Michigas. Why are we punishing applicants?
Yeah, I don't understand why we have to have a moratorium. Why can't the old ones,
Then
the old rules apply,
And you're
the new ones?
So.
Right, and I have one other question. Did we ever see, I don't recall ever seeing the final draft of the revised.
Yes.
No, we saw it and we talked about it, but we kept putting it off, but we never actually, like,
I never saw it.
I thought we never actually finalized. I thought we were gonna talk about all the changes.
We did.
So. let me
No,
just-
because Mitch
let me
wasn't
just-
here.
let me just
Because I'm
answer that
new.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the town council can make a decision at the next meeting, okay, to accept and go forward. I'm just saying on that short of time frame. So it doesn't have to take 4 months. All the 4 months is so that the town council can properly review it and staff it. So that way it's okay.
Are you saying that by creating a moratorium, it puts pressure on
Yes.
to say that? So why?
Well, you got it.
All right, so is that the only means that we have to pressure the board to act?
Yep.
Yes.
But I think the board, just so you know, I think the board.
So basically, the only way to get the board to act on something is pull the cord, the subway cord?
Well, hey,
You know what we're doing? Basically say, no, nothing's gonna go through.
If people complain, they'll get on the stick.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm learning this, obviously, but I still think it's kind
Well,
of.
we're saying that's not crazy, but we're trying to, come on.
So there is a
Well, how do we know
motion.
they wouldn't act right away?
Because they don't, and they haven't sat with a full board, just so you know, like, there've been missing people. Joe Latondra hasn't come back, and,
Dennis, I gotta tell you,
people have been
This-
missing. Jen is speaking, they ran with 3 people, they've been having 3 people on the board, Mike included, so.
Why can't this board send a message to the town board, say, if you do not pass this, we will be forced to pass a moratorium.
See, that's what I said.
you can't pass a moratorium, only the town board can. And so you're.
So what are we
I
voting
think-
on? No, we're voting on-
So Maggie will put together
A memo.
a memo to the board.
And asking for a moratorium.
Or not, moratorium.
Asking us for them to do it.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not doing it.
I'm sorry.
I misunderstood.
Me too.
Yep, I misunderstood.
This is what I specialize in, is get to the heart of the matter. So you're saying you want to put in a vote saying we're asking the town board for a moratorium,
Yes.
and that they're going to potentially sit on that and to ignore it, or they will do something by passing it. But we're just saying, basically, just pass our visualization.
That's what was
change.
nice.
They may do this.
Who knows?
They have an option.
Like Janet said.
They have an option.
They have-
They'll get the package to you. They'll get the package from us. They look at it and say, well, we'll pass this on, but we're immediate, the moratorium.
Okay, so this is, there's no gray zone. It's not like, if you do not do this, we are going to request you.
It's gonna be
I
a,
wish
right, so Raleigh essentially, my memo to them will say something to the effect of that a motion was passed to pass a 4-month moratorium.
Now I get it. I'm supportive of that, and ask the board to nudge them. I get that.
Or they may get it and say, or both. Or whatever.
I think what happens, I think you're right in making a push it, because I think people are going to defer it until they get the whole, they're gonna want to do all the zoning.
Well, that's their call.
That's their fault, but that we should keep in our mind, that might be the other
If
accident.
they're
This one
smart,
really should.
and
They
I
need
put
to-
that quote,
and you know
"You're
what, when
smart, this is a complete package, send it in along its way, because then we work on the other thing, and this will just slip right into the.
That was my spiel.
The night that they speak about this, we need to be there. You know, I'm usually at the meetings, but I'm speaking and it's just me. But if we were there to say, we're feeling wildly unappreciated and discouraged by the fact that we are making very hard decisions, long thought and, you know, brighter movie.
It's
That, I mean,
it's
what-
that, now I understand. Now I get it. I just thought we were voting on the moratorium. That's what it was.
No, you have no authority to do that. You're pushing the town board.
So is it?
All right, let's
So,
Let's just vote.
Yes.
Let's vote all in favor.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Before we talk, since this is the board time, I wanted to circle back. I'm not sure if this is appropriate or not, since we talked about Katie and her husband or partner, situation on Main Street.
Well, you have to be careful, wait. Yeah.
We can't talk about this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Can we go into executive session and discuss it?
But
We'll talk Monday.
Or Monday,
Thursday,
oh, yeah,
whatever
you know,
we're meeting, Thursday.
whenever we, what the.
yeah, you probably have an executive session.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I think we should call for executive session beforehand, because
Yes.
with them, we're gonna have all those lawyers there.
Yes.
So,
I
but
don't want
I,
any more litigation.
I would like
Too late.
to make a request of the board that when I send out the agenda and minutes email, that everybody please either shoot me an email, or call me and leave me a voicemail of whether you're coming or not. It's just difficult for me to, I have to know I have a quorum. I mean, thank God we have two
Can you
alternates
just
as a.
send out a quick roll call?
Well, I do try, like, Isaiah, please tell me you're coming, and just,
Part of the problem is you're talking about it right now, and the people who aren't here to hear what you're talking about.
yes, but it's, so, I mean, and, I need to make sure, so the only people that I know of at this point that are not signing into and using their Town of Hurley email are Dennis and Carl. You I'm gonna talk to. It has to happen, Dennis.
Okay.
Because of,
Never have any time to do it, but okay.
because of FOIL purposes.
Yes.
Sounds like the back.
The town board-
Got locked in.
Samara told me today she needed me to bring it up because she can see who's logging in and using it and who's not. It has to happen. You did get my instructions from MCS on how to be able to send notifications that you got a new email. Did you got an email?
I'm checking emails, I can
Great.
check emails.
Okay, good.
All right,
So,
it's a pain in the ass system, but I can get it.
so Maggie, if I do a search for that email, the instructions are still valid?
Yes.
It's not like
No.
something that,
The only thing that might happen is you might have to call Dennis.
that was the name.
You might have to call MCS because what I found with Ray.
What was the subject of that email? Change me?
No, that's the password.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna have to find that email, remember?
I'll re-forward it to you.
If you do that, that will help and that will be a
And
reminder.
because, we were having trouble with some of them that, they needed to refresh the He never passed
You
it.
just
But
send it to me. I haven't actually tried, so. not
Okay.
bad.
Good luck.
Okay.
Is this still more time, just one thing
Yes.
quickly?
Right, I
I'd
guess.
like maybe the members of the board to think about it. I don't know how we do this. We have an historic commission here that oversees the historic district. Years ago, they had more regulatory powers. Town board, I saw fit to take those away, am I correct?
We never had them. We were always advisory.
They were always advised.
And
Yeah,
we
you're
tried.
not
we
allowed.
tried
We
to
tried,
work
but
for
like
it.
I got it back, so they tried at that time to get more regulatory powers. I'm kind of very protective, having lived here in the old village for 50-some years.
Mhm.
I don't know how we go about doing, it, but I'd like to see that board have more regulatory power over what happens in that historic.
You can't, right?
But we can ask the town board to do it.
No, I will tell you, I know, because when Marbletown tried to do, designation laws, they wanted just the historic commission to be able to do it. And the state will not allow it. There has to be another body, whether it be the town board or the planning board.
Commission, like
that
the landmark,
gives the
like the
final.
landmark.
I don't care how you, what you call it, you have to change it. I know place town, I know Cooperstown, you don't buy one of those Victorians up there, just paint that.
Well,
color.
I want to put that.
You know,
Great, wouldn't it, I mean, that's kind of like passing the buck to some degree. I mean, they have their job and that is advisory and we are to take
I'm
that
just
as like
throwing out-
or not. And, you know, and that, so whether we take that advice or not, we have the power.
well,
But some areas have a local, like a commission, like a landmarks commission, and if the town of Early won for landmarks commission, that's probably the
The
sound board.
Historic Preservation Commission is that. It
Yes.
is, it's,
And
But
it
it's only
has to be
advisory.
given the authority by a higher force. The state to give them authority to be not, to be regulatory, not advisory.
we can ask those questions, but that's like that Marltown tried and they didn't get it. and-
So
I think
when they
Cooperstown-
designate.
there's, I know out Montauk, they have a regulatory, they just banned all like commercial motels and hotels going up there, like Howard Johnson, they can't build up there in Montauk.
No, and in the city, if you have something approved and it's not right, they make you review. I had to stain the whole building because it was the wrong color. That's not advisory.
Well, the other possibility, and I understand what you're saying, the other possibility, when we're looking at the zoning,
Exactly, that's where it is.
let's look at the zoning code and say, how can we protect that area?
Yes.
through the
That's
zoning
where it
code?
needs
I've
to.
also, I've seen how some of the time, well, I don't know how it's run exactly in Kingston, but I've also seen some of these organizations, these boards run amok a little bit.
Oh, I'm not saying that, it's happened. I mean, to the day I moved here, I'm in the historic architect, and I drove the kids to the Stockade area, and I saw the county do, you know, urban renewal, build a glass cube in the Stockade area.
Are
I
you
knew
still
that.
upset about that?
Yes, we're all still.
I mean,
upset
that
about the
building
post
is
office.
historic now.
Who's not upset about the police department?
I look right there, you know what? I mean, I'm never very young, man, I go.
The only thing that
Where were you with the post office?
That's right.
No,
No,
that's
no,
the other-
no, 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 there's one other thing.
No, no.
Process that I sent out to all of you. Please, I'll resend it tomorrow.
You resend it tomorrow.
Please look at it and say, I have no comment, or change whatever you think might.
What are you talking about?
Escrow process. So what each,
So,
okay?
No, no.
Now you can adjourn.
Yeah.
So who made the motion to adjourn? Yeah.
I second it, all in favor?
Aye.
See, oh, that's
So we
funny.
can take this document and throw it away, right? Because it has no validity?
Second.
It has no validity,
She-
there's no
she-
historic preservation?
Deborah, you need this annexed.
No, I need more than that. I need, no.
You know, it's-
Everybody, stop the
It's
recording.
very sweet. My wife, like,
I'm gonna ask Maggie.
The reason she's going to wait.
From,
is
yeah,
because
the
she
old
has
rat
judgment.
skeleton, but
It's already